Originating in Guangzhou, Guangdong, a clay pot is used as a vessel to cook rice. In Guangdong, clay pots are called baoji, so it is also called baoji rice.
A young prodigy in originium-related science and the student of Professor Thorne, the Colombian Liberi named Elliot Glover suddenly went off the grid while participating in a scientific project in the Ibut region of Sargon, together with the Sand Soldiers of Blaine Formation.
When you say it like Blaine Formation, in that particular way, it sounds like you're saying a man's full name. Hi, I'm Blaine Formation.
It's my good friend Blaine Formation. Fucking,
I'm Blaine Formation. I'm from Sargon.
Uh-huh. It's a fucking, oh my god, what's the mech series?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Like the mech series.
Gundam?
Yeah, it's a Gundam ass name, Blaine Formation.
That's fair.
Oh, it's not, it's Blaine Formative. Whatever, I'm not changing it. The Arknights
Hi,
lore
I'm Blaine Formative.
The Arknights lore people are gonna yell at me for misreading Blaine Formative as Blaine
Hi, I'm Blaine
Formation.
Formative.
I am Blaine Formative.
I'm here to apply for the tax accountant position.
Uh-huh.
I'm from Sargon. I have 5 years of experience in the fields.
I also am not sure about the pronunciation of Ibut. I don't know why I said it like that.
Ibut.
Probably Ibut? Ibut?
Ibut.
Ibut. Yeah, that's probably it. That sounds right.
Ibut and Sargon.
Uh-huh.
Sargon, Hammurabi, Ashurbanipal, and Gilgamesh.
Uh-huh.
They might be giants. Someone will understand this.
That's fine.
I got my name from that song. Not originally.
Uh-huh.
I got the long version of my name from that song.
Uh-huh. Hello.
Welcome to Soulmates.
Oh. Sorry, I had to burp. Hello,
Okay.
and welcome to Soulmates, where we talk about all our favorite little guys and all our favorite little games. I'm Ivy Fox. You can find me on our sister podcast, Together We'll Shine, a Newton or Rewatch podcast, which might be coming back soon because I'm no longer sick, but also might take a while to come back because Pandora is, quote, getting married and being sad. So, stay tuned. However, you can find this show, Soulmates, wherever
That's
you
the
get
one.
You have your own part of the intro.
You just said it in a particular way.
You
This
can find-
show, Soulmates.
You can find us many places, including YouTube, where you can subscribe and make clips and chat with us in the comments and your fellow fans. But you can also, of course, find us on your podcast app of choice. Go download us, and you can give us a nice 5-star review. Just to be nice. It's very helpful. We're a small indie podcast, etc., etc. Joining me as always from Joining me as always from across the planning/dining table is Ash.
Hi, I'm Ash. You can find me in what's it called? The Mount Holly estate.
Oh, I should have done a blueprints. Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me in the Mount Holly estate. Personally, my preferred rooms are the parlor, but not the passageway, because I never have 2 gems to draft it, even though it seems quite helpful. And also the courtyard. I love the courtyard. I've never lost a parlor game because I never play Blueprints at 3 a.m., unlike some people on this podcast. You can also find me on Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/AsherLark. I run the show's social media on soul-mates-podcast.tumblr.com. And you can support the show by going to Ivy's Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/ivyfoxart, all one word.
This season, in retribution, I'll be spoiling every single part of Blueprints for Ash live on air. No.
Just because it wasn't even that mean of a joke. It's just true.
This season, we're talking about the characters. The guys.
The guys.
We're talking about the guys from Arknights and Food Fantasy by Hypergriff and the other one that I always forget. Literally every time. It's like, it's those guys.
Then Ivy looks up her copy, which she definitely has.
Yeah. An aromatic blend of
She's not even gonna say it.
Paramilitary operators and personified foods. Also, our art, that's by Rye Garden. You can find on Instagram. Our music, Sueños Electrónicos, find on Bandcamp, but easy access. Go to the description, find all our links, find the links to the wikis, and then look at the guys with us. I should start saying this more.
Some people don't do that, which is a little fucked up.
It is.
But I do want to know the versions of the guys that you imagine in your brain.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a fun group activity to listen to an episode of Soulmates and then try to, recreate without knowing the guy.
Yeah,
what you think the guy looks like based on our descriptions of varying thoroughness and quality.
Uh-huh. Yeah, listen, I don't know what the fuck... I live in very tiny corners of the internet, so I don't know what the fuck happens on Drawfee or what that is, but, I assume it's something like that. Don't people get prompts and then draw things? Isn't that what that is?
Yeah, that's okay. That's what. Sorry, I'm just very confused.
Well, it's just it sounded like the thing. What I think Drawfee does sounded like the thing that you were describing.
You could watch an episode of Drawfee.
I can't do it right now. I'm recording a podcast.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
In this season,
I was just confused by your weird flex about not knowing what Drawfee is.
It wasn't a flex. I just don't know what I just don't know a lot of things on the internet.
I suppose
this is well known.
Mm-hmm.
In this season of the show,
that's why you have me, our youth correspondent. I'll stop interrupting you.
We're doing watch-alongs of Drawfee episodes. Anyway, hi Ash.
Hi Ivy.
Well, I feel like that was a strong intro all around.
Yeah, TBH. Always important that we end our intro by doing a little self-evaluation. How's my driving?
Anyway, if you ever listen to this podcast, if you ever have some free time, you should listen to this podcast and then listen to us describe the image and then draw the image and send that to us on Tumblr. Nobody will do this probably, but if anyone ever does this, I will love you forever.
Whenever I get an image in an ask on Tumblr, it tells me you don't follow this account, so we've hidden the image from you. And it's always like Burb, and I'm like, Burb is sending me smut on tumblr.com. I can't believe this. Tumblr's trying to warn me that some unverified personnel. This is because I only follow Frog of the Month and Food Fantasy fandom.
I thought you started following May on account of our professional relationship.
Wait, I forgot to do that.
Yeah, a reminder to everyone to go follow Gay Frog on Tumblr, but also follow us. May did
follow us, so I am obligated to do that.
Yeah.
Now if May sends me an image, I can be assured by Tumblr's expert moderation that it is not smut.
I'm DMing May right now. By the way, Ash now follows you on Tumblr. So
you can send me more great asks.
Send them smut, it won't be. I just think that he should know. That this opportunity is available. Anyway,
this opportunity is available.
Welcome to the podcast.
We have an energy today, and I hope you enjoy it, listeners. I hope you enjoy what we've prepared for you today. An aromatic blend of guys and more guys. Wasn't even that funny. I've just been watching a lot of Top Chef. Anyway, can we do a segment? I need to get out of this strange, structureless zone we're in.
It's time for Eat My Guy.
It's time for Eat My Guy.
It's time for Eat My Guy. That's not what the music is like.
Okay, well, I don't know what music is because I haven't re-listened to any of our Arknights.
It's holiday. It's Arknights holiday. I've settled on that. I used a different one in the first episode, and I was like, eh. And then now I've settled on holiday. I like holiday. It's got good vibes. Anyway, so
in my brain, it's like
it's fucking. Well, I can't remember the name of the classical music piece, but it's Stravinsky's Rite of Spring. Is that the thing that's coming to mind?
Maybe. I don't know your mind.
Real Stravinsky fans will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's Claypot Rice.
Yay!
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I made an earnest attempt at making some Claypot rice of my own, which I discovered is not that hard, which is great. If you want to make Claypot rice, all you do basically is I used a Dutch oven because I don't have an unglazed or glazed clay pot. I mean, it is a ceramic vessel, I suppose. So I did a decent job of making it in a clay pot. But I don't have an authentic clay pot to make Claypot rice in. So I made it in a Dutch oven. But it's basically just make some rice, first of all. Midway through making rice, put toppings on the rice, and then leave that covered to steam. And then you drizzle some oil around the sides of your vessel of choice. If you have a clay pot with a particularly loose lid, you can just pour it on the lid and let it seep in, which sounds very fun.
Ooh.
And then you turn it up to medium heat, and then that scorches the rice on the bottom. So as soon as you start smelling a slightly burnt smell, you take it off the heat, and then you get perfect, crispy, scorched rice. Add some sauce, have your toppings of choice prepared, and then it's a rice bowl with crispy rice. It was good. I had mine with some chicken breast, a sauce that is mashed together from basically every spice in my kitchen, as is traditional, and some chives. I wish I had bok choy to go with it, but so it goes. It's good. You just make crispy rice, and you can put basically anything on it.
Cute. Successful make of this thing.
Successful make of thing. Ivy wants me to post the picture I took of it on the Tumblr. I don't know if I will.
Nice picture.
I mean, I showed this picture to several people and was like, "Here's my, it's not pretty, but here's my attempt." And they were like, "Plating is a myth. That looks nice." But I still think it looks kind of odd because plating is hard. It's just sort of a mash of stuff.
I don't even care about the plating. I just think it's kind of a nice photo. It just has sort of a nice composition and color scheme. Everyone go to the Tumblr where this picture will be and get a little bit soulmates about this picture.
Get soulmates about my picture of my Claypot rice.
Yeah, not the Claypot rice itself, but the composition and color balance of the image, etc.
And then Ivy got some real clay pot rice.
I'm in a little bit of a work crunch, and I figured like one of us making a thing and one of us buying some out in the wild. And of course, I live in Toronto, which has like a massive Chinese community. So I popped down to Chinatown. Been for a bunch of random, unrelated reasons. Been spending a lot of time in Chinatown recently. It's really nice. I really like Chinatown. If you're in Toronto, you should go to Chinatown. Just go to Spadina and Dundas and walk around for a while. It's a very strange vibe because it's such a large neighborhood that it has like a real sort of city within a city kind of vibe. Like all of the signs are primarily in Chinese and some of them don't have any English. And it goes on for like blocks and blocks. It's fun. It's nice. Anyway, I went to Master Pot, which is in Dragon City Mall, because it was close to me. And I just, I think I said to the guy, they just make Claypot Rice. I think I said to the guy, a friend, parenthetical, I suppose, Food Fantasy, recommended that I get some Claypot Rice. Do you have anything to recommend? What do people usually order? And he was like, people usually order like the one, which was barbecue pork and like marinated hard-boiled eggs. And so I got that, and it for a place that so I feel like it would probably be better if they served it to me in the clay pot. For a place that only makes clay pot rice, it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like you're talking about how the rice on the bottom is supposed to be crispy. Did not do that.
No, that's the whole point.
Like any restaurant meal, the rice to toppings ratio is fucked.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's just too much rice. They didn't give me enough sauce. I mean, this is a me problem too, because I could have gotten more. I have like 3 types of soy sauce in my kitchen. But I just ate what they gave me. The bok choy was on the side, which means that the sort of bok choy juices hadn't been like soaking into the rice. I don't know why they did that. And the rice was also it's just like a little bit, I mean, cooking rice is hard, but they're professionals over there at Master Pot. The rice is also just like a little bit undercooked.
No. This is so sad.
That being said, pork is also a little bit dry, but like the flavor of the pork is really good. The flavor of the eggs is really good. Whenever I got bite with eggs, I'm like, damn.
This is great audio. What you're doing right now.
They marinated that in the good stuff. But I just like, people who are listening to this episode, please let us know whether hearing us eat live on microphone is a turn on or a turn off for you. And then based on the most
we'll
people
who
respond, we'll either do more or less. But we won't entirely do all, or we'll sort of like slowly tweak over time,
Looking back to the crowd for thumbs up and thumbs down every episode. That is sad. I mean, I made my Claypot rice basically with, I didn't go and get anything. I just like have rice and I have stuff in my fridge. So like I had some chicken breasts that were in my fridge and I just looked at all the stuff in my fridge and was like, what can I put on this? So like I'm glad that your topping experience was good, because I didn't really focus on it in the making of my Claypot rice. I focused on rice. I guess it is like most places when you get a rice dish are reheating rice instead of cooking it to order.
Oh, yeah.
And so I guess that like having a Claypot rice place that just does Claypot rice, you would want them to make the rice to order on account of that's the whole point.
Yeah.
But they're probably not, right?
Yeah, and I mean, because it can't sit in the clay pot, because they have to put it in a takeout container. They probably can't. I am curious to go back there I mean, there's another Claypot Rice place up the street from there.
I'm amazed by the fact that you have specific Claypot Rice places.
I was about to say, this is the thing about Toronto Chinatown, is that it's so large, and so, like, its own little city, that there aren't really, like, there aren't really Chinese restaurants. There are, like, restaurants that you would hypothetically find in China, as in, they're restaurants that serve a specific kind of Chinese food. You know, like how we have, like, I mean, not that North America has any kind of food, but like how we have like sandwich shops or pizza shops or whatever. There's like a clay rice place. There's a place that like just does noodles, or a place that just does buns, that kind of stuff. Things that are more specific.
I looked for a place that I could get, like, real Claypot Rice from, and landed on making it myself. Because in neither of... I've moved back to my hometown for the summer since the last time we recorded a Food Fantasy episode. Food Fantasy Arknights episode. But I looked in both the city I normally live in and my hometown to see if I could get anything. And I could not find a place that would serve me Claypot Rice.
Yeah, I found two places
that
like,
only do Claypot Rice
within a block of each other, relatively close to where I work, that only do Claypot Rice. I'm curious. I would be even
City
though this
slickers.
Yeah, whatever. Even though this place was even though this meal was sort of disappointing, I would be willing to go back and have a sit-down meal there and, like, eat the thing out of the clay pot. I would be also willing to try the other thing. I will say that, like, my intuition is that, like, this seems like more of a home-cooked meal than a restaurant meal. Like, it's really got those vibes.
It's street food originally.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my fun fact.
Oh, I was gonna say it's got that vibe of, like, you know, you have one of these clay pots at home, you make some rice in it, you throw whatever you have in the fridge in it. Like, how you made it sounds not too far off from how people make this intuitively, but
yeah. I mean, I imagine it's good to have a street food just because, like, you put shit in a pot and then you just have a pot.
Oh yeah, that's true. Do you buy the pot?
I mean, it's traditionally made in an unglazed clay pot, which is not a cooking vessel that, I mean, we usually use.
Yeah, I guess that's probably cheap enough that you can just give people the pot. That's fun. Who can say? I don't know. I don't live in Guangzhou. That was Eat My Guy? Question mark?
That was Eat My Guy.
Great. Eat My
Guy.
A nuanced
discussion of Guy.
A nuanced discussion of Guy. And the eating thereof.
Speaking of Guy.
Speaking of Guy.
Claypot Rice from Food Fantasy.
Claypot Rice from Food Fantasy.
And he has a clay pot.
Also,
presumably it's full of rice.
He isn't released yet, so the wiki has nothing except the images.
He's not released on Global, so we got the intro text from translating, and then Ivy, as per her work.
As per my literal job, rewriting the translation.
As per her literal job, rewriting the translation the Google Translate gave us of the Billy Chinese wiki. But it's Claypot Rice. I mean, when we rolled this guy at the end of last episode, Ivy was like, "Are we gonna do this guy? Because he's not released." And I was like, "I see no problem. Cause the only thing we need is the images and the text, and we found a solution for the text, so it's fine."
Yeah. He's just a chef, by the way. It's like his whole personality. He just makes food, which is really funny. Both considering that he is a food, and also Food Fantasy is a game, hypothetically, that's about running a restaurant. And it's like, yeah, here's this guy who's a chef, you can have him in your restaurant. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I guess.
The line in Food Fantasy between, like, these guys are summons who you get to to fight for you, and these guys are just out here living their lives, is non-existent and incomprehensible.
You make them work at your restaurant.
You do make them work at your restaurant, but
You
also
don't cook that food.
every time they have an event, it's like, and here are these guys just out in the world having personal dramas amongst themselves. You are not an object or involved at all. This is a world of food people. And it's like, wait, but the plot of the game.
It is like in Arknights, when there's an Arknights event where fucking Rhodes Island just is not there at all. And nobody from Rhodes Island or knows what Rhodes Island is. And it's like...
It's like if an Arknights event... It's like if the guys in Arknights were like the guys in Fate, and in order to recruit them to your company, you had to summon them through the use of special cards. But instead of every Fate event taking place in the context of everybody being a gacha wife to you, it was an Arknights event. And it was like, what the fuck are they doing out there?
Uh-huh.
You've been summoned in this world to make food. Anyway, things that I like about Claypot Rice, the guy is
I like many things, yeah.
I like many things, but I like the buttons on his shirt that are little toppings. It's so cute.
Yeah, he's got, what is this? It's like...
I think on the top and bottom are just rice grains, because he also has them in the sash around his waist.
Oh, that makes sense. They're unhulled rice grains. They're patty. That makes sense. I thought they were hot pepper.
Yeah, that tracks too, TBH.
And then the second one is like, I think it's parsley or something similar.
Some kind of green vegetable.
Yeah, but he has it. It's in the back, and he's tossing it into his pot in the second one. And then an egg.
And then an egg. He's got an egg.
I love this image so much. Whoever painted this has such a distinct painting style that is so nice.
It's a combination of smooth painting and like rough hatching, which I really like.
Yeah, it's like really. When I say effectively, I don't mean effectively as in like it's such a good imitation. I mean effectively in that it captures the mood, but it's a really effective digital imitation of like watercolor. Like everything is sort of soft and blobby and layered in this way over sort of like, you know, pencil sketched lines, and it's like, yeah, it's like pencil sketch and watercolor. It like a good fake of that style, while also like being a little bit more detailed where it needs to, like on the gold detailings at the edge of the coat. And it just looks so soft and nice and like nicely outlined. His eyes are so soft and like comic booky in a really pleasing way. Look at these.
I like his pants.
Yeah.
Mostly because I want to wear them.
Yeah, they look really comfy, honestly.
I'm always looking for things that aren't jeans to wear because I'm a boring person and I only wear jeans. And if I had a pair of these pants, I would wear like nothing but. I would become a these pants guy.
I love how the pots look, especially. They just like really got this like, you know, watercolor and then hatch shading on top of them, kind of style. And they look so nice and round and like, you know, something about the way that the big pot is shaded, like gives off the impression of like it being sort of roughly hewn, the way that it's sort of shaped and shaded.
I mean, the hatching makes it look very much like it's made out of unglazed clay.
Yeah, exactly. I love this little drop of tea, like, leaping out of this little cup. It's got so much personality. I love how weird and kind of, like, awkwardly shaped this teapot is. Why is it sort of
why is it like
that? I don't know, and it's just because it's you know, he's running a small restaurant. He's just got like a small weird little teapot. It's just like he's not super expressive, but his face is nice to look at. But the whole image is like bursting with personality. There's steam coming off of the food. There's this big basket of ingredients and these sauces, and he's doing a little step as he goes out for a delivery. It's like, what?
He's got these little ribbons on his coat that right above them is this, again, imitation of like that basket of overflowing ingredients, which then, goes all up and out, which I think is so charming because the ribbons create a little basket for them, even though it's not literally there. And just all of his clothes and his outfit, even like his little braid, is just the shape language of it is very nice. He's got these big round shoes with the wide, like, I don't even know, what would you call that area of I don't know. They open widely. Cuff, I guess. And these, like, these nicely shaped, sort of buoyant pants, and the coat flowing out with the wide cuffed sleeves, and it's all very, like, round and bouncy and buoyant in a way that really is satisfying, especially with the characteristic round shape of your wonderful clay pot in which you make Claypot Rice.
It's just really nice.
Yeah.
I don't even have. I don't know if we have much more to say. But I really love looking at these clouds of steam. That, like, imitation, like, watercolor, like, dappling effect is so nice.
This little textured brush that they use to get a paper texture on that is very, very fun.
Yeah. Shout out to this guy.
Shout out to this guy. I like his little collection of sauces on the stone counter behind him.
Yeah.
He's got a little stone counter in a I mean, if you think about it, the positioning of of this thing in the image is like halfway up, which is weird. But I do like that he has a little shop front behind him, even if it's way up there for no reason.
What do you mean by
this little, like, stone counter and then the wooden planks behind him?
I know what you mean. I'm trying to figure out what you are you saying it's too high?
Yeah. It's like halfway up the image.
Huh.
He's got a whole leg under there.
I feel like it's too low. I feel like this counter, because this counter is like at his thighs, which is not where you want. I guess maybe, but like I feel like if he turned and he looked out this storefront, he would be staring into these wooden slats instead of staring out of the little window.
Presumably, because it's so, like, only takes up half the image and starts halfway up the image, it's far away from him.
Okay.
But it's weird that perspectively you would put him that far down in comparison, like, composition with his far away storefront that he's exiting.
It's hard for me to comprehend what you're talking about, because it's hard for me to comprehend the distance between him and the thing. I guess you're right. It's hard
because it's weirdly positioned.
Weird. Why'd you have to make the image weird? We could have just moved on.
Sorry, it's my duty as a journalist.
Never say it's like that nightmare I had that someone accused. Oh wow, now I'm remembering the details of that. It wasn't a nightmare. It was just a dream. It's kind of a nice dream. But I had a dream where someone was accusing soulmates of not having journalistic integrity.
Oh right.
And then he wouldn't make out with me. Because soulmates didn't have journalistic integrity. I forgot
about journalistic integrity.
Anyway. Broadly, though, good image.
What is it we don't have journalistic integrity about?
I don't know.
Embroiled in scandal.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, the ascended version of this image is honestly just as good to me.
Yeah, they're like...
I think the composition of it is a little bit rougher, just because he's standing, like, straight up on this leg. But, like, it's still very charming.
Yeah. I mean, he certainly, like, you know, to follow through, he certainly feels, like, more in a place in this one.
Yes.
He almost feels like he's sitting or even, like, jumping off of this stone oven.
Oh, but, yeah, like, true.
He is casting a shadow on it. And so, like, it's right there. It's a physical object. The sort of fun escalation of it is sort of a very similar image, but I do like the escalation of, like, now you can see inside the clay pot. You can see all the exciting stuff he's putting in there.
Yeah, he's got mushrooms, and he's got beef or pork, and he's got parsley, and whatever that pink thing in the middle is.
Yeah, it's just all in all sort of like a lot more active of an image without sort of losing its charm. Like the steam clouds are, like, thinner to, like, indicate a lot more movement. And, like, stuff is moving, and he's got a more expressive face going on. His, like, braid is, like, now whipping up behind him. And it's like it's got, you know, it's got a nice sort of let's go kind of energy compared to the first one that I find very charming. Watch me make my little pot.
Watch me make my little pot. I like how fluffy this rice looks.
Yeah.
In his wooden spoon.
Yeah, it's really, like,
rice.
it's like quite low detail, but it, like, really gets it feels
just
like pillowy and nice. I'm freaked out by the fact that this doesn't appear to be meat because it's, like, drawn differently from the meat. Is he throwing a whole onion in there?
Maybe?
Maybe?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Is it a whole onion? It's onion?
It's sort of scary.
Uh-huh.
What is the pink object? Listener, please tell me what the pink object is.
Uh-huh. I like how you can see, like, a little bit more, or I think his robe is slightly different, like the patterning on it, but you can see, like, a different angle of it, which lets you see more of this kind of, like, bamboo forest kind of thing on it.
I mean, it's the illusion of the clay pot. It's with the ribbon, and it's even, you can see the little the lip of it, that black like rim surrounding the pot, and then it's got all the stuff that's in the pot that's in his hands. It's got the parsley, and it's got the beef.
No, absolutely. And then when you close it, it's the clay pot. I understand. Like when you close the robe in the front, each one has half the pot.
Charming. Cute.
Very, very charming. I feel like I don't know why this artist decided to do this, but, like, the pants always look nice. Suddenly the shading on the pants goes insane. They're they're putting so much work into like shading it really nice and detailed, and, like, showing the torque that his, like, body movement puts on the fabric.
Twist of his thigh.
And it's like, you did not have to go that hard suddenly on the pants.
Not have to go that hard.
But, like, I appreciate it. But, like, damn. Suddenly these pants are, like distractingly well detailed.
Suddenly these pants go hard.
Nice image. Cute.
What a nice young man. I made sure to check on the Billy wiki just to make sure he didn't have any alt skins, but this is all he's got.
No.
Just a nice young man.
Yeah, I like the oven. or the stove in the background. It's like they do a really good job. And again, like the the background stuff is so much more placeable, but they do a really good job at like making this stove look very pretty with its like sort of, you know, the stone texture is really nice, genuinely.
Yeah.
But also it's like it fades into the background nicely, letting you pay attention to him. I love things that look nice in image that don't draw attention to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like a little treat just for us.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They made that for soulmates.
yeah, I like the, you know, this artist just like clearly cares about like composition and shit. Like, look at this pot in the bottom right. Why is that pot there? It's not there for any reason. It's just compositionally, you know, there's a bunch of empty space there for no reason. So like, put a pot. It looks nice.
Pot
It's a nice
time.
looking pot. Yeah. Spend a bunch of time putting this pot there just so the composition is a little more balanced. Thanks. I appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Thank you for pot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all we have to say about Claypot Rice?
That's what we have to say about Claypot Rice.
All right. Now.
Thank you, Billy Wiki,
Thank you
for
Billy
making
Wiki.
sure that I know what is up with Claypot Rice. The Billy Food Fantasy Wiki is very detailed.
Uh-huh.
And completely impossible to navigate.
Uh-huh. It's got everything you could need, if only you can find it.
It's got everything you could need, if only the auto-translate function on Firefox understood it.
Uh-huh.
Number 3, Q version of the show. Anyway, Passenger.
Elliot Glover.
Elliot Glover.
The Sand Soldier.
Char 472 Passenger. Oh, he's based on a passenger pigeon. That makes sense.
I didn't like look at this guy at all.
No, me neither. I also, on instinct, find him kind of boring.
But he's got this mech, and he's got a... Yeah.
He does have his mech. The first time I looked at him, I was like, eh. I really TGA. But maybe I might change my mind over the course of actually looking at him.
I will say
I think it's just sometimes the Arknights art style makes me like cringe away.
Yeah, I think you're incredibly intelligent. And I as much as we're fucking over our like ability to have reach and appeal by not just doing an Arknights season, I do feel like the Arknights art style, which is a lot more controlled than basically anything we look at, except for maybe Limbus Company, but Limbus Company has like real art in it. No offense. All art is real art. That's the point of the podcast.
Yeah.
I think
Hey guys, just in case you haven't been listening, we're here to outline to you the themes of the... Hi, I'm, spoiler for Kanto 8 of Limbus Company, here to explain to you the themes... Anyway.
So Soulmates is about Confucianism.
It's about the battle between Confucianism and Zen Buddhism, and which one is objectively better.
Yeah. Anyway, this I will say that this guy, he's a not Final Fantasy. Sorry, may I retry?
He could be a Final Fantasy character.
No,
depends on the Final Fantasy.
This guy is a Fire Emblem ass guy. The fucking the long hair, the like soft but not too soft face shape, the like you know the he's got like a two-tone color scheme that are opposites with a lot of white and a little bit of black. Like he's just from Fire Emblem. And I think this makes him boring to me because I think the Fire Emblem default design ethos is kind of boring. No offense.
I think the thing which makes me reject him on first sight is his. Listen, it's not funny. It's not you. It's me.
You're just funny.
Is his facial expression just being like he's got a very wide face, with wide ass eyes and a wide ass mouth.
His eyes are so wide.
And he's just looking sort of like non non-looking into the middle distance. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, he's just kind of like generic soft boy.
Generic soft boy. I fucking love his mech, though.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
He is standing in front of the mech and also obscuring it with his mist, which is annoying.
Fuck, his mist!
Get him out of the mist!
Get him out of the mist! I need to see this shit! Look at it, it's so lovingly drawn and detailed. Look at the center of this thing, with this, like, the rim of the steel that's all highlighted beautifully, and all of these, like, wires coming out of it that go into this much, like, the center engine is so gritty, and these little, like, connections are so gritty, these joints, but then the outside is so clean plated, like, almost plasticky feeling, with these wires and these gold bits. But then as soon as you get a glimpse of the inside, it's like so much more it's so much more visceral. And also, I don't understand what the fuck it does. Is it a shield? Is it a gun? Is it an insect? I don't know.
It's gotta be a gun. It has a gun on the top. I like that you can see that the gun, like, is a... I almost said hyper rail. That's not what it is. Rail gun. I almost said hyper gun. It's a rail gun. You can see, like, the stacks of magnets, sort of, like, exposed in a really, and they look really raw, in a really fun way. And it's like, it's a rail gun that looks like it's like a manual rifle, you know, that you have to cock back every shot.
I'm looking at his battle sprite on Arknights operator viewer, A-Ship's toolbox. Thank you, A-Ship.
And
it is a little, like, sentry turret thing. It uses these little, like, that little insect claw that I mentioned. It stands on those like a little spider and fires its gun.
Hang on. Let me pull up the, how do I, show SD. I will say that I do, this doesn't show up so much in the battle sprite, but I will say that I like that the mech is a little bird. Has a little bird eye and, like, a weird little beak for reasons that I don't understand. At least in this image, it looks like it's a little bird. It's got a little bird face.
Could be a little bird. He's a little bird, so...
It's got that pigeon eye.
He's a pigeon. Have we solved it?
I do feel like I would like this jacket in theory. I like these kinds of jackets. But I also, like, don't...
You have to specify what on the image you're talking about.
There are multiple jackets. His white jacket.
He is draped in about 5 layers of indistinguishable fabric. It genuinely kind of makes me mad.
I think there's 3 things going on here. I think he's got this inner white jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got an ornamental blue robe. And then he's got an outer black robe. I think.
Sure.
The blue robe does appear to be separate from the black robe, I think.
The white jacket is multi-layered on account of the collar is insane. He also has a little string tie, bolo tie on it, which is kind of adorable. If I could see it. It's the collar has this strange, like, this would be a great guy to draw if you're not looking at him and try and figure out what the fuck we're talking about. Has this little rectangular, like, bit with the 2 bolts on it coming out from the collar in this weird way, and that zigzags down into more of the jacket and seems to disappear. And then there's a layer of actual, like, jacket with lapel, which is not connected to the collar. And then the other side of that also, it has a differently shaped lapel.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, also when you cuff it, it's black, and it has racing stripes on the sides. Fine.
Well, I mean, it has a black lining. That's normal. Wait, but part of it doesn't have a black lining. Wait,
I know. If it had a black lining, the lapels should be black, but they're not.
Okay.
Also, this string tie has one string that's very long. And then, so the side of the jacket with the normal lapel that, like, has a little triangle cut out of it, then, like, zigs back to be, like, a short coat, kind of. But the other side with the straight lapel goes all the way asymmetrically down to, like, have this poncho-ass, like, transparent fabric at the bottom, but also he has his hand stuck in the pocket of the other side of the jacket, which also apparently has that transparent lining. So the jacket zigs on one side and then returns to being a normal, like, long coat?
Oh, okay, alright. Let me try and break this down for you. I think
Please.
I've got it.
I don't.
Bottom layer, I mean, you know, maybe he's wearing an undershirt, but bottom layer is this, like, is a white tunic that the collar around his neck and then everything sort of like the base layer, and then it goes down, you can see it goes down to his knees, and then it sort of opens up like a link tunic. That's the bottom layer. Then one layer over top of that, he has on this, like, white on white damask diamond pattern dinner vest.
We'll talk about the patterns on this later, because he does have, like, he has halftones as hell.
But he's got this, like, oh yeah, right, weird. Whatever. But he's got this, like, dinner jacket thing. It might be a
insane dinner jacket.
Yeah, which you can see on the left side of the image, but on the right side is covered up by a, like, trench coat that is over top of his dinner jacket that has the ricing stripes and the black lining, and that goes down to have this transparent fabric at the bottom.
What?
And then...
Why would those be two garments?
Wait, no. But you can see, if you look at the left shoulder, I'm trying to use audience view here, because I feel like if I don't, and you're already this tense, you're gonna freak out. If I say his right shoulder and it's the left shoulder of the image, you're gonna freak out. So I'm trying to be nice. If you look at the left shoulder, you can see, you see that under his hair, you can see the big collar of the trench coat that is layered over top of the dinner jacket. So they are two separate garments.
I see it.
Okay, alright, okay.
I hate that that's not a single lapel. What the fuck is going on?
And then over top of it, I'm actually starting to think that the blue and black is one garment that has, that's like
that
black on the outside, has a blue lining. It's not, now that I've zoomed in on the GitHub, it's like, it's not separating where I thought it was separating. I think it just has a blue lining. So that's what's going on.
I appreciate that the GitHub has a higher quality image. I always open the GitHub and I'm like, oh wow, a higher quality image than the ones they have on the wiki, which are low quality for no reason.
We could just start linking to the A-ship.
We say this every time.
Maybe I'll do it.
Anyway, here's genuinely, like, when I get mad about outfits not making sense on this podcast, I think that, like, I'm not being entirely facetious. I'm being a little bit facetious because sometimes you draw an outfit and it just doesn't fucking make sense. And, like, that's normal. But, like, this man he has sexy man potential. I think we can agree.
He's a fun. He's got fun femboy energy.
And, like, a thing that people like to do, and that I like to do, is to see characters a little bit dressed down, like, in the process of taking off the outer layers of their outfit. This is reasonable. People draw this, it's fun. And what makes me upset is that I cannot fucking imagine how you would do that for this man. How you would even attempt to draw him at all in the outfit that he's currently wearing. It is so... You would have to figure out how it moves in any way if you wanted to draw him in any pose except this one, and how it's constructed. And, like, that would just be impossible. You're crippling yourself by doing this. One of the great joys of being really into Limbus Company and Project Moon in general is that every character in those games wears a suit. Under whatever garment they have, it is just a suit. It is a suit with accoutrement. And, like, I understand how a suit works. They only put a little bit of shit on top of it. It's not that complicated. This shit is, like, unbearable. You can't process it. It's not real. It's just, like, you just painted some colors on him to make him look fancier. And it upsets me. This game has an art book. I'm upset. God, I'm mad.
It has multiple art books. Arknights has
this game has multiple art books.
I do want to find the art book the passenger is in to hear them explain what's going on.
God, please.
I'm gonna shift gears a little bit.
Yes.
I love his fucking fishing rod. I understand I understand that that's not what it is. Maybe it's this weird... I don't understand why it's attached to his collar. It's this weird, like, sort of steampunky, electric punk, like, lance thing. But the thing is that it's shaped and proportioned, and he's holding it so much like a fishing rod. And this like, brass sort of yo-yo looking thing in the middle looks so much like a fishing rod
just
reel,
a reel, yeah,
that it's... And also, like, there's thread coming off of it. Like, it's just a fishing rod, and it's impossible.
The thread is attached to this belt that has a fucking... I hate it.
It's impossible for me to see this as anything but a fishing rod.
No, it's totally a fishing rod. You're so right. I'm trying to look at his chibi to see if I can, like, figure it out more.
Yeah, me too.
But again, I'm mad because the chibi, I can't tell where his arms are.
Is it just like a cane? Is it like a weird... It does sort of feel like he can only point it down. Wait, hang on. Let me make him do an attack. That's him dying. No, he just points. He just points and makes his turret do things. Does he ever do anything with the... No, the turret just attacks. Okay, so he never does anything with this thing. He just leans on it. What is it there for? Is it to help him with his like magical disability? Like, what does he...
he is infected. He is infected with originium. He has a little bracelet for it on the arm that he carries the fishing cane. I think I don't know. I don't know what this is or what it's for.
Yeah, I feel like as much as I sort of
frustrating.
Like there's kind of cool things about it, but I feel like he would be so much cooler in concept if he just sort of stood there coolly and, like, you know, struck a cool pose and had his turret attack things. You know? I feel like that's such a good archetype, is like the commander, and instead he just, like, has this object he has to lug around for no reason. And it's very strange. Is It's connected to like his pacemaker. What's going on here?
It's his clock barometer pacemaker thing that he has on him.
What's up with you, man?
I was trying to figure out like what his deal is by looking at his file, but this has given me nothing. I don't know. A little bit frustrating, TBH, if I may. He has a I have to go back to looking at this image instead of looking at him on the wiki. He has a little originium crystal on his forehead to show that he's infected, and people are like, "Wow, cool gem."
He's got sort of a. I'm just looking through his voice lines. He's just sort of got like a kind of upstanding is not quite the right word, but he's sort of got a posh kind of thing going.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a posh scientist guy. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. He does just kind of make me mad.
We haven't even looked at the other images yet.
Yeah.
Should we look at the other images?
We should.
Should we move on?
I want to change my perspective on Passenger. See, here we go. I have to look at this one on the GitHub because I know that this image is so low quality.
It's gonna be so small. They're all 250 by 250 on the wiki, or something like that. They're all the same square dimension, and so big images get squished down super tiny. It's very strange. Anyway, here he is. This outfit is so much more comprehensible. He's like just wearing. Oh wait, is it? No, you can still see the weird like right side of the suit jacket if you look for it.
Wait,
weird.
it has a slit, and then like tails, like a tail coat.
Weird.
What? And what is that piece of fabric coming down behind his leg?
Yeah, I don't know what this black piece of fabric
Where did his fishing rod go?
He's ditched his outer robes, so it's a like.
He's ditched his outer robe, so it's a little bit better.
He looks a little bit better, but I think mostly because you just can't see very much of it because of his posing.
Yeah.
If you could see more of what was going on his right side, you would die, I think.
Probably. It does make me a little bit mad. Many things make me a little bit mad, but it does make me a little bit mad that, like, they've taken off his outer robe and then they've put him in this side pose so that he still just looks like a mess of lines. Like, sure, man.
I'm pulling up something from the Mahjong Soul wiki.
Okay. I also appreciate that his you can see his shoes a little bit better here, and you can see that they're boots with like boot treads and boot grip, which I like. I always appreciate.
It's not quite as similar as I thought, but he is sort of in the he's
oh my god,
Bond up. He's Mirai Bond up.
Real.
They gender swapped Mirai and put him in Arknights.
They did. I like this background quite a lot. It's again, my favorite thing about the original image. They've gotten rid of his fucking turret in this image too. You took away all the things that I like about him and instead just put him on a platform.
Yeah, instead he's got these like Tesla coil propellers, which I don't understand.
Yeah, they're connected to this like fucking ring of rings that he's in. And I like the mechanical detail on these. I love the mechanical detail on these big gears on the outside.
Yeah.
And the weathering on the little parts and all of that shit. It's not quite as satisfying to me as the mech, which is such a functional object that I appreciate it more. But I do like that, and I do like his various passenger pigeons.
Yeah, I am kind of like... I'm freaked out by, like, where he is in the image. Because, like, he's not in front of this big ring thing. Nor is he, like, in the middle of it. He's kind
He's
of like
standing on
he's like
a
in
tiny
between.
one.
Yeah, he's like in between layers of it, and that feels a little bit awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes this big gear layer on the outside because you can sort of see where it is relative to him.
Mm-hmm.
Feel very like real and present in the image. But then like as you get deeper into this sort of like a concentric ring thing, it starts to feel
This
like
hellscape that
less.
we've created for ourselves.
Yeah, it starts to feel like less and less real because like it's not really it feels less clear where everything is in relation to each other.
All of
You
these
know what I mean?
electricity effects also kind of piss me off.
They are kind of like they are very sort of early Limbus Company art, just like
Yeah, they're
grab a tool
everywhere,
and drag it around. They
and
are
yeah,
everywhere.
they're everywhere. They're not obstructing parts of the image. They're just making the image
Uh-huh.
busier in a way that is frustrating. And these orbs of specks that get thinner in the middle and thicker on around the rim are I don't like it. It's just not a very well thought out visual effect. IMO.
Uh-huh. He's electricity Jesus Christ.
He's
Um
electricity Jesus Christ. We didn't talk about the halftones on his main
but
piece of art, so I was too busy getting freaked out. But I'm amused by the idea, because these halftones are only present on the black shawl cloak thing that he has in this image, that those are actually diegetic to the piece of clothing and not just ways of expressing the shading. Only his dinner jacket is half-toned in diamond. Only this
yeah.
cloak is half-toned with little polka dots.
Yeah. It's just like again the depth of field in this image, depth of field is not quite the right, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The depth of objects in this image just feels so fucky. Okay, like look at this, look at the big orb, the one he's sort
Mm-hmm.
of conjuring. That one is like clear where it is, right? It's in between
Yeah,
his
it's
arms.
between his hands.
Look at the one just down and left of it.
Yeah.
Like where is that
Between his
relative to
hand and the
things?
thing it's in front of,
Is it
maybe?
is it above, is it above the back layer with the wires, the black, the gold wires on black, or is it above this like middle gear, or is it between those, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
and then these other two on the right are maybe a little bit better, but like I the one on the far right, I'm like I have no idea where that's supposed to like be over or how deep it is, because
Well,
I'm like, is
they've
it?
placed it in places where they only have to remove parts of it in relation to him and not in relation to the background. So they
Uh-huh.
have no relation to the background really at all. They're just little SFX that have been put on a separate layer, and the layer is under his sprite but over everything else.
Yeah, and I like how the far background out of the concentric rings is this sort of like abstract
Mm-hmm.
like industrial
Welcome to Bird
space
Heaven.
kind of. Yeah. Yeah,
Or Bird Hell, depending.
welcome to the bird factory.
Welcome to the Bird
Um
Factory.
but like I don't know, it's just there's things that I like about this image. I like the shading of his hair. I think this really dramatic kind of like blue gray sort of low lights and bright yellow highlights on
Mm-hmm.
his orange hair is super fun.
He doesn't have a
Um
facial expression in this one either, which pisses
no,
me
he has I
off.
think he has less of a facial expression in this one.
Yeah.
Um and like it's kind of like, you know, it's the I don't know. There's lots of individual little pieces that I like. Like I like all the layers of this ring that you can make out. I think these
Mm-hmm.
birds look nice. There's little bits of his outfit that look nice. But I'm just like overall it's kind of like a bleh of an
It's a
image.
disappointing, like it it's spectacle, and it looks cool as spectacle from a distance, but as soon as you start interrogating it, it's just so disappointing in comparison to some of the ones we've seen.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just sort of how I feel about this guy in general. He's got another skin.
He does. Who the fuck is this?
I'm not,
Who's this
let's
bitch?
say, huge on it.
The skin?
The skin. I don't know who this is. Is this his daughter? What is happening? In this one, he has a facial expression, and it's like, oh, I didn't see you
describe
there.
for a bit. I'm gonna try and figure out who this is.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to look at the wiki and figure it out, but you do that. In this image, he's on top of a book with, don't listen. He's on top of a book. I really don't like how the fabrics don't seem to care about the curvature of this book at all, but whatever. And in front of, like, some windows with cloth draped over them, there's, I don't know what the fuck this thing is in the background that's got, like, an arc and then is it like a light fixture, or like, it looks like there's fabric coming down from it. It's a gear, but like what, for what purpose? There's a little like fixture with a crystal in it, and then another little fixture off the left side of the window that's like a little, like, I don't know, a little arc lamp. Arc lamps.
Arc lamps. Arc lamps?
Arc lamps. They have a bunch of books on top of this book, and he's in a big green armchair with, what is this detail on the bottom of this? I don't like looking at it too closely, so I'm gonna stop.
It does look like, I'm back on the image. I figured it out, but I'm gonna give you 3 guesses, but we'll get there. It does look, if you look at the arm of the armchair, both like how his arm interacts with it, and just like how it's drawn where the fabric connects to the wood, right there, it does look like they just sort of stopped drawing it. Like they did a rough sketch of how they wanted the carving to look and then just didn't do any more work on it.
And I don't mean this as an accusation of anything. It just genuinely looks like something that is filled in the middle by AI, and they didn't finish making the thing. It just is an idea of a thing.
Well, yeah, it just like,
it makes me a little nauseous to look at. I don't like it.
Yeah, I genuinely don't like accusing things of being AI. I
No,
mean, you can do whatever you want, but like
I'm not accusing anyone of anything. It just looks like that.
To me, it just looks like a sketch. Like it's like, okay, how do the ends of chairs look? Well, you got like a swirly bit, and then you got some stuff that like goes off to the side, and it's like, okay, and then we'll clean it up later, and then they never cleaned it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind. I think that this outfit is a much better outfit.
It is much more comprehensible.
He looks like he looks like Father Pucci from fucking JoJo Part 5, the main villain of JoJo
Sure.
Part 5. It's just like he's got this kind of, hang on, let me find an image for you.
Please.
JoJo Part 5, Father Pucci? So that's his name, right? Okay, not exactly, but it's just this sort of like sexy, skin tight kind of vestment-y kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a picture of Enrico Pucci.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I know this guy.
which is like a fun aesthetic.
I still think the collar sucks.
I did like originally interpret the thing at the bottom as like stained, like diamond panels of stained glass, but you could also interpret it as like an Argyle sweater, which makes the whole thing very funny.
Amusing.
It's just like, it's a reasonably nice suit.
I appreciate that his pacemaker barometer has been given a halo.
Yeah. Also, it's like a little pocket watch now. It's cute. I also kind of like this background. I was only half paying attention because I was figuring out who this other guy is. But like, I don't mind this sort of like abstract dovescape shit. Like that's sort of.
I'm not into this background. I really don't like it. I mean, it's just like, I don't care about the space being incomprehensible. That's fine. But, like, the amount of little particles and flecks and shit is extremely overwhelming. And it just, like, it's not even just on the outer edges of the image. It also invades the space where the actual guys you're supposed to be looking at are.
Yeah, these little leaf graphics over bits and pieces
These leaf
of them
graphics
are
are
very
so much, and like, even though I like the birds being in there and want them to be there, the fact that they're just these little pure white things adds to the particles of everything. And like, look at the far left, like, far right, sorry, I'm getting my, and look at these, like, these little just sort of scratches of white that are on this leaf effect. And it's like, it's just so much.
No.
They have leaves
I know
blowing in from the gap in between the armchair and the little boy. And it's like, the tree is right over his head. It's like, it's so close to him, all of these particles. They do overlap him at points. Every piece of this image that is not, like, directly on top of a guy is so covered in tiny little flecks and shit in, like,
This is gonna be maybe a weird take, but I feel like I would like it better if it was in motion. Like, I feel like if he was relatively still and, like, the leaves were actually blowing across the screen, that would make them less distracting, because you could
love
like
between fairy and devil.
Oh my fucking god! Because you could because you could sort of anchor your eye on him as the still part of the image. Does that make sense?
It does. I don't agree, but I see where you're coming from.
Like, it's just that, yeah.
I know what you mean. I just don't think that it would have that much of a helpful effect. I'm just thinking about the scene from Love Between Fairy and Devil. Which I just said the words Love Between Fairy and Devil out of any kind of context for the listeners of this podcast in order to explain a specific concept that I needed Ivy to understand.
There's a part in Love Between Fairy and Devil, not the book, which recently got published in English, nor the animated series, but the live-action series, Love Between Fairy and Devil. There's a scene where Simming Hall, but not the real Simming Hall.
Fake
Simming Hall, but not the other fake Simming Hall.
One of them.
But not the other fake Simming Hall. The fake Simming Hall that is in Master of High Shi City's fake fishbowl.
Yes.
The fifth fake Simming Hall is falling apart around the two leads, and they're having a romantic moment while just particle effects are flying.
It looks
all
like some
over the
shit
screen.
that you get default with your video editor.
But like, there's default effects, and then there's also like huge, like really detailed, like the environment is coming apart in chunks, and it's like really
clumps
like
of stone on top of stock maple leaves flying across the
yeah,
screen.
the maple leaf. And it's really like, look at how much graphic design budget we got for this series.
Passion.
That's
what I think this image would look like.
That's what this image is. I'm gonna give you 3 guesses to guess who this is.
Him, but younger.
Damn you got it in 1.
Yes! I thought it was his child at first, but then I looked closer.
So you said daughter at first.
And then I realized that there are shorts.
Women famously never wear shorts.
Yeah, I saw the shorts and I was like, a little boy. Gender is real and affects our society today.
She has, like, boobs. Anyway. To me, this is a very transgender image.
It kind of is.
I'm not even really sure in which direction the gender is flowing. or if that even matters. But there's
Uh-huh.
there's some shifting, there's some transitioning of gender happening here. You know, who knows what it is?
Unfortunately,
It's the far future.
unfortunately, I think that this like passenger is such a crusty man. That I can't enjoy this transgender image because I have like no positive feelings about him.
You don't have to have positive.
He's a crusty old man to me.
You don't have to have positive feelings about it just because it's transgender. It's just that's
It
just
just
what it is
is.
to me.
I do like
Anyway,
his kicks.
uh-huh.
He's
Wow,
got a cute little buckle.
this is a long part. We complained about Passenger for so long.
I it had to be done.
Uh-huh. Um okay, numbers?
Numbers, yes. Numbers for Claypot Rice.
Numbers for Claypot Rice. Where the fuck is there he is. There he is. Oh, it's so nice.
Cuteness.
Look at how clean this image is
I
compared
know,
to
it's
every
so
single
free
passenger image.
yeah.
It's so free. Cuteness.
Life could be dream.
Very high.
Very high, very cute, very round.
What isn't cute about him? He runs a cute little restaurant. And
Honestly,
he loves
nothing.
making like a home cooked dish for you.
I
And
mean,
he's like a little dumpling.
in fairness, part of the reason why he gets a 6 is because he's kind of a one-note being. But, like, that one note is 6 cute.
Yeah. Alright, 6 cute. Appeal.
Appeal. Are you writing these down? Or should I?
Oh,
Okay, no, I'll do it. You're good.
I have a lot of Google Sheets in my tabs.
I have a
And so
lot of
it's
Google
like,
Sheets in my tabs, I understand you. But I have mine right next to the Soulmates tabs.
have you?
Um,
Yeah, my anyway.
Appeal.
Six cute. I see. Here's the thing. I don't think he's unappealing.
Well, you have
I
been to a restaurant serving Claypot Rice and were disappointed.
wasn't his restaurant. God damn! Don't pin the sins of Master Pot in the Dragon City Mall of downtown Toronto on our lovely little man.
I'm sorry, Claypot Rice. Sorry, women.
He just feels like he's very passionate about his work, which is
Mm-hmm.
appealing. But I feel like
I don't know. I
the
don't think
way,
he wants to hang.
I feel like the way he fits into a social situation is like he makes the food, he serves the food, and then he like hangs out with people for like half an hour, listens for a while, talks about the food, talks about how the restaurant is going, and then goes to make dessert. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's I just don't know if he wants to talk about anything else.
He's a host and derives pleasure only from hosting the event.
Yeah, this is how I host parties sometimes that like genuinely concerns people is I'll like put a ton of effort into like making dinner and stuff and like putting together a really nice little event with like 4 friends, and then while they're all eating dinner and chatting, I'll literally just lie down in the spare room. And they'll come in and be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm chilling."
I'm enjoying the party.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the party. And that's Claypot Rice to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, but that's not unappealing. But it's not that appealing.
I'm leaning 2, TBH.
Yeah, 2's good for me.
2. It is written.
Kinsey.
X.
Yeah, I think so.
If this guy has like a romantic attachment, it is that he has like a wife that he runs the business with. And that's it. But I don't even think that's true. I think he has the energy of my high school AP US history teacher, who was a person who, like, I occasionally talked about with other teachers I had, and they were like, yeah, he's kind of worrying, because all he does is work.
Uh-huh.
His whole life is AP US history and fucking what was I don't remember what this was called. Um Model UN. It was all AP US history and Model UN. That's all he did. He had
Uh-huh.
no pets, no wife or kids, nothing.
Uh-huh.
Just
Uh-huh.
being an AP US history teacher. And that's Claypot Rice to me.
Yeah, he just runs a Claypot Rice restaurant, and that's it.
That's it.
X.
X.
Passenger.
Passenger.
Um,
Cute.
cute. Difficult. Um, difficult for me to assign this man cute numbers. I don't think he's very cute.
No. I'm thinking about his
He's
personality, and he's like... Well,
he's
he's
not
also
very,
dying of illness, which, fair.
but everyone's dying of illness.
Some people aren't.
You can't be like, oh, they are cute because they're a food. Oh, they're not cute because they're dying of illness. Bitch, like
That's the premise.
games. Yeah, that's the premise of the things.
I was just saying
Um,
that I think it's fair that he's a little bit standoffish on account of his death of illness. This is reasonable to be a little standoffish when you're dying of illness. But he's also just like a very sort of formal guy
uh-huh.
focused
he's
on
just
his
like
work.
yeah. He's just like an adult man.
Mm-hmm.
He makes like murder drones.
Mm-hmm.
He's an adult man who makes murder drones. What's
Can he have
cute about him?
Can he have an incidental cute point for transgender image?
Yeah, I'm happy to give him that.
One.
One, he used to be a child, therefore he's
One.
cute.
He used to be a child. Appeal.
He used to be a transgender teen.
Mm-hmm.
Appeal. I don't know. He makes cool robots.
Does. His robots are pretty appealing.
His robots are pretty appealing.
I want to touch them.
But like, other thing that's transgender about him is that he talks about Elliot as like a separate person.
True.
Um, he's like, I don't know, but he's like, he's not that as appealing.
No.
I want to look at his robots. I don't really want to hold a
Well,
conversation.
he doesn't leave the house.
No, I don't really want to hold a conversation with him when he talks like, I know a scientist, of a brightest star, an elegant gentleness, as if a born leader. I admire him, depend on him, regard him as my elder brother. And it's like, bro, I just want to talk about the weather.
Mm-hmm. Just want to talk about traffic.
Yeah. 2? For robots? Do the robots get him that
The
high?
robots are more than incidental, too.
2. 1.
Kinsey
2.
scale number.
If it's 3, we get to go 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
Fucking.
I mean, he's pretty gay to me.
He is pretty gay to me.
He knows a scientist.
I feel like if he's gay, I can't give him a 5, and I have to give him a 6, but I can't explain this.
I understand. I mean, I think that he's a lifelong gay man
Yeah.
without a single heterosexual attachment.
Uh-huh. 126. I'm fine with
126.
that. Their relationship, I think, very simple. I think Passenger is just a regular at the Claypot.
Yeah, Passenger goes to the restaurant.
Yeah, and he's a very nice customer. He tips well, and then like, you know, once Claypot was like, my half of my oven is broken, and then Passenger was like, "Oh, let me just fix that for you," and they had like a positive interaction, and they have like a positive but like mostly strictly professional relationship.
The servers at Claypot Rice's restaurant occasionally will engage in like conversation with Passenger on a level that's like, oh, here's how my kids are doing. But when it's Claypot Rice, it's like, thank you for the wonderful food. Of course, you're welcome.
How's your oven doing? Is it still working okay?
Yes, it's doing fine.
And
then they leave.
This is not awkward or anything. This is very pleasant for both of them.
Yeah, they both enjoy not having to have any kind of other conversation.
This is what they're looking for. So like they think very fondly of each other, but
but never speak to each other in any kind of like sort of any informal way. Reasonable.
Perfect.
New guys?
Yeah, well, break first?
Break first. I never remember what order we do things in.
We have this discussion every time, but it's fine.
I know.
It's okay. Let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
私の額にあるオリジニウム結晶ですが、よく装飾品だと誤解されるのですよ。おかげで感染者であることをごまかす手間が省けるのです。とはいえ、額が痛むときには、自分の愚かさを骨身に染みて感じるのです。サルゴンを離れると言っても、私の道は一体どこにつながっているのでしょうね。
I have the Cardcaptor Sakura opening stuck in my head now.
Catch me. Yeah, I should get back to finishing that. I don't really know why I dropped it. I think I started watching something else and then I forgot to keep watching Cardcaptor Sakura.
I never,
That shit sticks in your head forever.
Yeah, literally. I mean, vouch. I never read or watched Clear Card at all. Which is partially just because I think at the time I was not thinking about Cardcaptor Sakura. And I also had never seen the original anime. So, like, meh. But it did finish its run relatively recently.
Did it? This is not. I'm such an original anime gal that I have no connection to anything else.
The Clear Card anime hasn't finished its run, but the manga did. And they announced the first season of the anime was in 2018, and then they announced the second season just last year, adapting the rest of the story because the manga finished in 2023.
Hi, welcome back.
Can you guess what we're doing as a character from Sakura Tea from Food Fantasy.
It's Sakura Tea from Food Fantasy, but it's actually
Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah, it's Sakura from Sakura.
So it's Sakura from Sakura. I don't remember her last name.
I just saw it on the wiki. It's Kinomono. Is that it?
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. Kinomoto.
It's Sakura Tea from Sakura from Cardcaptor.
It's Sakura Tea from Sakura. We were just discussing how this outfit we were expecting it to be more pink because Sakura.
Right.
But it's the opening of Clear Card.
Yeah, and so it's clear.
It's clear, but moving immediately to the image. I do like that these bubbles are full of Sakura Tea.
Yeah, I agree. The way that they the way that they integrate the food with their crossover characters. First of all, it's very funny that Food Fantasy has crossover characters. It's not even with food themed things. It's just with like guys.
Just like stuff, yeah.
Yeah. It's really funny because they never ever try to do the thing where they make the main character look like the food, even if they already kind of look like the food. They always like kind of have them just sort of hanging around the food.
Yeah. I mean, a lot
funny.
of them like they have Caro, and they have fucking what's that? What's it called with the short girl and the tall girl, and they're like weird little guys. I don't remember. My God, I sound insane. I'm sorry.
With the short girl and the tall girl, and they're like weird little guys.
PPB and Popuko. I don't remember what they're from. You understand what I mean now. It's the short girl and the tall girl, and they're weird little guys.
No, I know.
They did a crossover with that, but I don't know what they're. Oh my God, this is gonna bother me. Sorry. PP me. Pop Team Epic. Pop Team Epic. That's what it is. And like those two, and also Caro, are just like, this is my favorite food, and so I'm on top of it. Which is very funny.
Yeah.
But this one is a little bit more serious.
Yeah, they've like implemented it into the image in a cute way with these, like, you know, these bubbles filled with Sakura tea. It's cute. She also appears to be standing on a lake of Sakura tea.
Sup.
So yeah, just kneel down and go. Just whenever you're thirsty.
Have you ever had a Sakura tea?
I have had, like, sort of like, you know, like boba tea sort of type beverages that have Sakura stuff in it, but I've never had just Sakura tea. Is it literally?
I have not either.
Is it?
I mean, it's literally from like soaking the flowers.
Oh yeah, so it's just cherry blossom flower tea.
Yeah, it's not cherry flavored. It's cherry blossom.
Yeah, Sakura.
Which I find amusing.
But it's not like tea with additives of Sakura. It's just
it's just Sakura tea.
Fun.
I think it would be good. It's my uninformed opinion.
I like a nice light floral flavor. I feel like I would enjoy it.
Like rose water.
Back to the image. I feel like they really nailed her face. She does look just like Sakura.
I mean, I assume that this image is drawn by the Clamp illustrators, TBH.
Yeah, probably. There's something about. I think I like her ascended more, but something about this image feels a little bit off to me, in reasons I can't quite. It's just like it's a very weak pose. Like, she's not sort of like gesturing with this card. She's just sort of daintily holding it. She's not like doing a thing with this staff. She just sort of like is holding it, and you know, she's doing a little step. They made her do something with her legs, but it's not like a big sort of jump step like you see so often. She's just like lifting her foot. And along with her like extremely placid expression, it sort of has like a weird sort of uncanny like weakness to it. It's such a weird word, I feel, to use, but like, you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. I know where you're coming from. I don't really like. I don't necessarily agree. It feels like a a cover pose. It's like this is like the freeze frame at the end of the intro.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
I think she's cute, and she's like, she's got all of her things. And she's like smiling into the camera, and I'm not. My thing is that I'm genuinely just like not huge on this outfit. It's an outfit from the thing, which is fine. I'm not huge on it. It's just like all of these little sort of bursty ice crystals are a lot to me. The little ice crown is a lot to me. And like, But I do like the many feathery tails waving in the wind.
Yeah, the base dress without the accoutrement is sort of like it's the right. I mean, obviously, like she's changing outfits all the time. Show made in an era where that's a thing that you could do.
Oh my god, I know. Genuinely crazy shit.
Just like random shows getting way too much budget for no reason. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Like, her outfit is the right shape. Like, she wears lots of things, but this is sort of her most iconic outfit shape. Is this like big? Oh my god, what is this? What is this shape of skirt called on a dress?
Just like a big one.
Yeah, just like a big wide basket skirt. With like,
it's a big one.
You know, a little bodice and a little shoulder piece. Which looks nice. And yeah, these feathers look really nice. I sort of like the shading in this image is not doing particularly anything for me. It's not bad. It's just sort of fine. It does really look it does really look like it is drawn by a clamp cover illustrator. It's just like got that very
it looks like one
style.
of the facts. I don't know if the podcast knows this about me. I grew up reading Cardcaptor Sakura, and I had the first omnibus edition of Cardcaptor Sakura, and I loved it so much, and I read it so much that my parents got me all 4 of the omnibus editions. They're on my shelf as we speak right now, and they're hefty as hell. Wonderful, delightful 4 volumes of the entire original run of Cardcaptor Sakura. But they have these wonderful, like, full-page color inserts with illustrations relating to, you know, just, like, fun bonus illustrations. And this looks exactly like one of those, but plus a food fantasy background.
Like, a while ago, a piece of art that I have in my house is a while ago I just picked up some Utena fan art at, like, Fan Expo or whatever. And I picked it up because they had just like captured the style of the show like exactly. The body proportions were like perfect. I mean, it's a nice little piece of art, but and this is what this gives me. I look at this and I'm like, I'm looking at a piece of like classic Cardcaptor Sakura art. You could tell me that they literally just like sent the file and put it over this background. This background does look like it's drawn by the food fantasy people.
Yeah, it looks like a food fantasy background.
But you could tell me that they just grabbed this from like the cover of a clear color volume, clear card. Blech. The cover of a clear card volume. And just sent it over, and then they just stuck it over a background. And I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right. It captures the style perfectly. And I appreciate it for that. And that's kind of most of what I like about the image.
That's fair. I like looking at Cardcaptor Sakura.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love... It gets an emotional reaction
out
of me in that way, you know?
God, if listeners of this podcast have not watched or read Cardcaptor Sakura, you're missing out on something
oh my God.
Truly, truly amazing.
Yeah, I need to, like, finish the anime and then read some manga. Even though I'm very bad at reading manga. But, like, the anime... Whenever I was watching the anime for a while, and I would, like, show it to random people who, like, came over to my house or I was hanging out with. Just like whatever random episode I was on. Oh my God. Can't speak suddenly. And every time their reaction was, oh my God, this is so good. I had no idea this anime is so good. And I'm like, yeah, the pacing is incredible. The humor is incredible. It's so charming. The animation, I don't know how Cardcaptor Sakura got that animation budget. But, like, every time she's on her little roller skates, she has, like, the most detailed and, like, perfect body dynamics I've ever seen in any hand-drawn animation. It's insane. Anyway.
It's a piece of queer fiction. Anyway.
It's also very explicitly gay.
It's great. We can just talk about how good Cardcaptor Sakura is. We should look at the Ascended image.
Uh-huh. In this season of the show, we're watching Cardcaptor Sakura.
Cardcaptor Sakura watch along. Together we'll card.
Anyway, the Ascended image. See, this one, I like this image more.
I don't. We're just diametrically opposed a little bit today.
That's fine. I just like to see her. I wish that like the proportions of her body look a little worse in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how long her legs have gotten. They're so long suddenly. But I do like to see her smiling and doing a thing, being excited to do a thing.
I think her face looks a little bit worse to me, just because of the side look.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, like, forced to look at the camera like, when I think it would look a little better looking forward.
I don't know. I like this better is a weird thing to say. Famously a podcast where we rank things
based on how much we like them in comparison to each other.
Yeah. I like that she's in motion in this one a lot. I love the way that like these her feathery trains now like create motion and push and pull her along. That's awesome. I love this little like snap that she's doing with her fingers around her thing, like let's fucking go. I love that she's got Windy equipped. Like she's ready to
Wind will become a binding chain.
I forgot about Wind become a binding.
I was just talking about this with someone the other day, is how much it's enjoyable to like watch the Cardcaptor Sakura anime and take a drink every time they say Wind become a binding chain.
Is that the exact quote? It was something like that.
Yes.
Wind become a binding chain. Oh my god. Really funny. Fucking, where was I? So distracted by thinking about Wind become a binding chain.
You're talking about how her feathery tails and she's got wind equipped. She's got Windy.
Yeah. And it's like, but also, like, changing her pose has, like, messed up her proportions. It's messed up her face a little bit. I do think her outfit actually looks a little bit better in this one. I
agree with you.
I like the way it flows. I feel like it fits a little bit better or like clearer on her torso. But like her arm,
looks a little bit more real in motion.
I don't know why her like Wind become a long legs. So like,
I just like the continuity between this one and the last one, where in this one she's jumping off from the same background and flying into the sky. It does have a little bit of a Dutch angle, but it's okay.
It does. It's also like she may have sent the cameraman plunging into the sea of Sakura to their death. Yeah. It's got some with this
become a binding chain.
Drag this man to hell. But like with this wave at the bottom right and this like looking up at her and up at the sun, it does feel like Wind has become a binding chain. It's dragging you down to hell.
Explode.
She's like, yay.
Yay! Anyway, it's good to look at her.
It's really good to look at her. I'm fond of these. I understand, like, these were probably a crossover, like,
with clear card.
So I understand why it's
it
this
might have
outfit.
been, I mean, because it's not released in, because it's not released on Global yet, it might literally just be, a crossover with the fact that they announced a second season of Clear Card in 2024.
Yeah. It was originally released in 2019.
Oh, well then it's a crossover with Clear Card.
Anyway, it's just like I'm just like an original anime guy, and so I'm so used to seeing her in pink. Not that she wears all sorts of things, but like she's so, you know, it's funny that
she's pink.
She's Sakura Tea, and they didn't put her in pink.
They put her in white.
Yeah. Anyway, it's
funny.
It's Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura. One enjoys gazing upon her.
No
There's
notes.
not much more to say. No, it's wind become a binding chain.
Wind become a binding chain.
Oh, TBH.
TBH, wind become a binding chain.
Wow,
Anyway,
I had not looked at this woman before.
this is Vina Victoria, an alternate version of Siege from Arknights. Usually when they do these like alternate versions of characters, they are like Siege the ba-da-da-da. But this one they just named her Vina Victoria, which is a different name. But they're the same character. But from an alternate timeline. Don't ask me how that works.
Sometimes they are
Arknights is fucked.
But they're from like a different era of the person's life. I don't know.
Weird. She's a lion.
I'm trying to.
She's a lion.
I'm getting load failed on the GitHub. Sad.
No.
Oh yeah, I think these images.
Her name is Alexandrina. Alexandrina Victoria. She's the only known surviving member of Victoria's Aslan dynasty.
So she
British. Lived in exile.
I do think it's funny that she's, in order to indicate that she's like the queen, she's holding the orb. She's holding.
Yeah, she is holding the orb.
She's holding the British royalty orb.
Yes.
Which
is what it's called, to be clear. It's called the orb.
Is it actually?
Yes, it's the orb and scepter. That's what it is.
She's got the orb.
Vina Victoria might just not be on this GitHub.
Yeah.
Image broken.
Anyway, it's fine.
Sad.
She's like. Man, we're looking at a lot of Arknights guys that like I'm not a huge fan of, which is sort of sad. But like,
I'm more into her than Passenger.
Oh, I'm more into her than Passenger, absolutely. But she's got such like woman in a fantasy game disease to her.
Yeah, that's she's a Fire Emblem character faux show.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Fire Emblem episode. In this season, we'll be talking about the characters from Fire Emblem. Insert the name of the Fire Emblem mobile game.
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah, whatever. I played like 2 hours of that.
I thought about playing it for. Fucking Gone Fishing. Still in my brain.
I like her boots. I think her boots are kick ass. Actually,
they actually are. Yeah.
Look at the detailing on the toes and like all the layers of like this person really looked at how boots are made. Really nice boots. That she's got like
boots.
You know, she's got like tights and like the shortest skirt ever. It's like we have this one part of the chest piece coming down, like she's tilted to the side so that this piece of the armor comes down in between her legs, so you can't see that this skirt is actually like too short. You'd like be able to see her underwear. It's like it's so
thigh gap denied.
It's so short, but it's also like trying to look like armor, so it's like leather. It has a little pocket, which I think is really funny.
Yeah, that is adorable.
And then like the main sort of armor chest piece looks fine. I guess it's weird actually, because sorry, I feel like I'm talking too much, but it's go. Like
I've talked so much this episode.
It has armor. Okay. This image tricks you into thinking that she's wearing armor. However, she's literally only wearing plate armor around her hips. Below her hips, she has a leather skirt, and above her hips, she has like just a shirt on. Just like a lace up in the front, kind of like I know this shirt has a name, but in my head I'm like, this is a Milk Maiden shirt.
Yeah, it
is. And so it's like, the image is like, oh, and she has gauntlets on, but like not full armor. She just has gauntlets. And they're also kind of weird. I don't know. Does she have a prosthetic left arm? What's going on over there?
I don't think so.
But like it makes you think that she's knightly and she's protecting herself, and it's like, no, absolutely, she's like here to she's the way she's actually dressed is that she's here to serve you customer service.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it makes me feel tricked. The closer I look at this image, you look at this image initially and you're like, oh, cool night woman. And then you're like, oh, she's dressed, with no offense to the women of the world, I suppose. But she's sort of dressed like a harlot. But also she's the queen. Sort of a whole journey.
Her armor is like, her armor is super fake.
Yeah, it's so fake.
Things that I like about her, I like her wild and flowing mane.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
I think the flowing gold mane over the flowing, like, royal blue cloak is, like, sick.
I like her little tail with the two rings on it. Cute. And I do really like this, like, blue cloak overcoat thing. I think she has some of the same disease as Passenger had, with all of these little strings going off of her outfit that are really weird. And I just like, she's got a lot going on.
I feel
just
more
fine. It doesn't make me
forgiving
as mad.
because, like, I can see where the strings connect to the cloak in a way that feels more like a bolo tie should never have a string that's that long. I don't know why it's like that, but this one I'm like, yeah, you might want to tie those, or you might want to blah 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 blah. She has, like, her sword is, like, so specifically like, this is a boss drop. This is a drop that you have to make from a boss soul in Dark Souls, and it, like, deals extra dark damage. It's like, it's a nice sword, but it's like, it's so ornate.
This is one of those, like, swords from Sword Art Online.
Absolutely. It's so ornate as to, like, jump over into not even necessarily silly, but like high fantasy. It's such a high fantasy sword. It's so funny that she's holding the orb.
I really like, overall, the effect that she has, which is, in this fake armor with her very ornate sword and her orb and all of her gold shit. I don't dislike. Like, I appreciate what they're going for. They do it very effectively and it works. And I have, like, no real qualms with it. I think she just doesn't excite me that much. Which is weird, because they put, like, a knight girl in armor who's, gonna lead the revolution to victory in front of me, and I'm like,
she's not going to lead the revolution. She's a royalist.
Well, that's true. She's trying to overthrow the revolution and put the royalty back in place.
Yeah.
She's a counter-revolutionary.
I just, like, yeah, I just want her to have, like, slightly more cohesion. I think I
also kind of just want her to be doing something in this image, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a base image, but people do shit in a base image. Come on. I feel like if she was, like, I feel like if she was, like, more of a real knight, or if she was like, I'm the slut queen. I can't make I'm the slut queen the episode title.
You really can't.
Then I would like her more, and she's like, I like a lot of elements of her. I like a lot of individual elements of her design, but, like, she's writing this line in such a way where I can't, like, there's not an overall thing for me to latch onto as much.
Yeah. And her, like, very, composed, poised, like, pose with the orb and her lack of facial expression and all of this is, like, true. She's gonna be the queen, and she has to be meaningfully different from Siege, who we're not looking at for this episode. If you quickly look at her, she's like a gang member.
Actually, I do think looking at Siege makes me feel better about her, because from Siege I'm like, this is where we, there's things that we pull from Siege, but like, yeah, sorry, I interrupted.
It still is just like not maybe my favorite character archetype, which is fine. It doesn't have to be. She's acceptable.
I do like her way more in her Elite too, though.
Okay, let's. Ooh,
like,
hell yeah, yeah, you're right.
Like, one, she's like, I mean, she's still not doing much, but she's doing a thing, at least. She's like a pose and a stance, and she's like orb turned to binding chains. But just
big lion also helps.
Something about this top down instead of straight on angle makes her feel more cohesive to me.
Yeah.
Again, I just wanted her to like be something, and from the top, one has to accept the way that one's brain works. From the top down, I can like see that she has cleavage, in a way that makes the outfit feel more comprehensive. Does that make any actual sense?
Kind of. I trust you implicitly.
I don't like the shapes of the outfit just make more sense to me now. Like, I can't quite explain why.
Yeah, it is weird. You can see this thing on her right shoulder now, and it's like it's a scarf and some ropes. The ropes are fine, but it looks like it's tied in a bow on her shoulder. Like,
yeah,
I
don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
However, I did actually figure out a real reason why it looks better now. Now that you can see her cleavage. And it's not like this isn't there on the base image. It's just like a lot less obvious. But she has this like, she has shape language that is this like this V shape, which is like, she's got the V shape of her neckline, and then she's got the V shape of her armor, and then her boots have these V shapes going down at like the cuffs or whatever. And it's like the shape language just comes across stronger in this, and she feels more cohesive, even though she's like either dressed exactly the same or she's dressed exactly the same. But like, the framing of her makes her come across better. It gives her some better, clearer shape language to me.
Yeah, she's pointy as opposed to like, how she's slouchy as her main guy.
Yeah.
Which is very enjoyable. She's very upright. I like the way that her sword, especially in this Elite 2, emphasizes, like, it comes to a straight point down, and then this hairband of gold halo comes to this straight point, up and out. It's very enjoyable. Big lion, my friend.
One thing I really like is that you can tell that she has a prosthetic arm, because the lion
has one.
Leg. Yeah. Very cute.
Very good.
Very nice.
This background
lion.
Is a little much, but I do like it.
Here's the thing. Is I have to go check. Is this the same artist who does the Studio Montana?
Original designed by Infukun.
Oh my god, does Infukun have a page?
I'm looking this up.
Okay.
You keep talking.
Well, I want to find out if this is the same artist who does all or most of the Pinus Sylvestris guys.
Doesn't seem like it, no.
Okay. But like sometimes the art directors at least love to do these big like heraldic crests behind people. That's in all if you look at the my god, I almost called her Sonia because I'm so deep into the Pinus Sylvestris lore. Flametail. I'm gonna make everyone look at Flametail Elite 2 for a positive example. If you look at Flametail Elite 2, she's like framed by this big heraldic crest that is the Pinus Sylvestris heraldic crest. IMO, Flametail Elite 2 looks fucking sick. Love that image. This, I think, is also a really good heraldic crest, like sort of fake heraldic crest. I think it's fun. I think it's got a lot of details. Blah blah blah. You want to know what the evil of this image is? This fucking blue and purple flame. If this blue and purple flame wasn't here, like, I understand why it's here for color reasons even, but just have it like only on the floor and only behind the heraldic crest, maybe? Like, the one in the background far right looks totally fine, but the ones that are covering up the heraldic crest, or even covering up part of this lion, even though I understand they're supposed to be coming off of the lion, like, make it so busy and like prevent you from seeing the details of this crest in a really annoying way. And
I know what you mean.
I think that's what's going on.
It does add a strong color balance to the image, but it is like also, it is also just kind of fucked.
This right side, like to the right of her orb arm and above the lion, is just like fucked. It's just but like.
I do want to sell you on one thing.
Okay.
Which is that there's a circle of like flame lens flare that surrounds the orb. If you see this circle around the orb that is like, this doesn't need to be part of the flame effect, I'm with you. But I do appreciate what it does in the context of all of these flame light effects.
No, I agree. There is a lot of compositional, like little compositional lines, like the line of her arm and so on and so forth. That point you up towards the orb, which is good. I agree. Orb. Turn to binding chains. But like, again, to the right of the orb, there's this area where there's like sort of detailed carved heraldic crest happening. And then in front of that is orange flame, and then in front of that is blue flame.
Yeah,
and then in front of that is bits of fabric, and then in front of that is more blue flame. And it's
the orange flame shouldn't be there at all. First of all,
yeah,
I get what you mean for sure.
Yeah, maybe if even like this orange flame / bloom lighting was toned down a bit, it might be fine. It's just like. I don't know. I think this is a fun crest. Look at the fun little details on like the left and right of it. It's cute. Anyway, I'm generally fond of this image though. I'm being picky, but I'm.
It's much stronger than her default for sure. And I appreciate it for that.
Look at how
I'm not like hell yes about this image, but I do. I appreciate it for what it is.
I think if someone was like hell yes about this image, I would be like, hell yeah, brother. Like I'm also not hell yes, but I could see how this could be totally your thing. Like there's a bunch of cute little details. Like I like how on the carpet crest that she's standing on, the lions are facing inward, and then this crest behind her, the lines are going outward. Like a lot of strong choices, and then they put a bunch of effects on it because it's Arknights.
Yeah, someone could show me this image as an example of like, look how good the art direction is in Arknights, and I would not be like, you're wrong. Anyway, Vina Victoria. Going a little faster through these. Just good, because we went crazy in the first half. And by we, I mean I.
In this season of the show, we'll be talking about the characters from Rainbow Six Siege.
We're talking about Gustave Caleb from Unknown, Paris, France. If you click on Paris, France, it takes you to the Wikipedia pages for Paris and France.
Wait, does it actually?
Yes.
That's so funny.
The only Earthlings are guys from Rainbow Six Siege. By the way,
you know what's the worst thing ever?
Yeah.
They did a fucking collab where they put the guys from Rainbow Six Siege, the most grounded, not the most, but like an extremely grounded, like, Earth mill-op shooter into the game. And then they won't put the fucking guys from Limbus Company into Arknights, even though the guys from Limbus Company have, like, the same sort of basic fundamental cyberpunk aesthetic. Like, come on.
Oh my god, don't remind me. It makes me so mad.
Anyway, it's Doc.
Why? Why would they do that? I don't know.
I think this image is drawn very well. It's got a
nice
it's got a really nice painterly texture to it that is like.
Let me see if this guy is visible on the GitHub viewer. He is. Yay!
Like look at the sort of like orange and purple shading on the glove. Look at his like the nice soft shading on his face that is like really
he is
soft,
in the mist.
but like he doesn't mist away. This is how like this is also Rainbow Six Siege E. It doesn't look out of place in Arknights, but this is how like sort of promotional art of these guys are drawn. But like there's a lot of nice like painting detail in the face where it's like it's really not distractingly textured at all.
Yeah, I really love the face.
You can see his sunken cheeks, and you can see the bags under his eyes. Not even because it's dark, but because there's lines, and it's like you can see how old this guy is. You can see that this guy is 45.
Planes of the face.
How old is he?
Many people are asking this.
I can probably go on the Rainbow Six Siege wiki, but Huh?
Are you a Rainbow Six Siege head, Ivy?
No, I've always wanted to play Rainbow Six Siege. I tend to be a fan of these sort of like, you know, prep and then like short burst of action and then prep kind of shooters. I like, you know, the sort of extraction shooter thingies. But Rainbow Six Siege is like always the most expensive game that exists. At all times it's expensive. And so I've never bought it.
That's fair.
And if I did, and also like I wanted it at a time when I was really into sort of grinding ranked in online games. That's not me so much anymore, and I don't have anyone to play it with. So you know, I think my potential Rainbow Six Siege days are behind me. But I've watched some Rainbow Six Siege. It's fun to watch.
I know not familiar with Rainbow Six Siege basically at all.
I recognize this guy. It's just like an extraction shooter, basically.
Yeah.
The fun thing about Rainbow Six Siege is that like the environment is almost entirely breakable, so you can like punch holes in walls and then shoot down on people as they're trying to get into your building and stuff. That's a big draw.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm on the page now. I agree with you broadly, just sort of about this guy. I'm a big fan of the planes of his face and his slightly messy hair. I find his doctor gloves sort of grimly amusing, given he's in all black tactical gear and pulling on a pair of the thinnest white gloves I've ever seen. It kind of looks like shit, but in a way that I appreciate.
Yeah. The thing about Rainbow Six Siege is that everyone has the same basic, like, shoot a gun at each other. So you do shoot people with a gun as Doc, but you also have, like, healing and support stuff on the side. I think he can res people, which is why he has his little defibrillators. And then
he's got a little pistol. He's got a bunch of, he's got knee guards and shit. And
they've really condemned this shotgun to the mist. It really just fades to nothing.
One leg and the shotgun are fucked. Also, whatever it is that's behind him is like gone forever.
That's his helmet.
I see.
He is like Um, he's a consummate for professional though. Even though he's fading into the mist, he's still snapping on the gloves,
Yeah.
giving you a little smile. He's like, "Don't worry about it. I got you."
Don't worry about it. I know how to counteract the mist.
Uh-huh.
He's not infected with originium, but with a different, worse thing.
Oh no. The mist.
The mist.
The plight of all gacha game characters.
Specifically men, weirdly.
Yeah. Men are always in the mist.
Men are always in the mist and shit. I like his, I appreciate this literally just because I've been, working theater and wearing comm headsets. But I like his little comm pack that he has. That's just the one headphone, the little headset mic, and then one ear.
Yeah, and then he's got
thing.
a radio. I mean,
Yeah.
it's impossible to critique this outfit because this is just like a real. Like,
yeah, this is just some real shit that you could
this is
wear.
literally, like, I know enough about Rainbow Six Siege to be like, this is literally what French SWAT officers look like. They just lifted the design from real life. And so I'm like, yeah, he looks like he's in tactical gear.
It's good. It's well rendered and well drawn and well represented.
Yeah. And like for a game series where everyone's just in tactical gear, he has a really clear expression on his face.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clear that he's a medic without that being obtrusive. He's doing an action that conveys personality and intention. It's good.
He has the curse and blessing of the body shape that tactical gear gives you, where he has this just like big ass, vest on, and then immediately, as soon as the vest ends, you're back to the normal shape of legs. This isn't a complaint. This is just how it looks, and I find it quite amusing.
Elite 2?
Elite 2. Holy fuck. Wow, that's different.
Image.
Holy
such
shit.
A fucking image ass.
That's an image ass image.
This is such a I feel like this is the kind of image that people think of when they think of like Rainbow Six, the franchise. It's like just like random glitch effects and shattering glass.
I'm into it. No complaints.
I'm into it. It's nice. It's fun. It's like it's a really nice contrast to the base image. He's in I can't tell if he's in slightly different gear or if you can just see different parts of it. But I feel like this glass framing is almost obnoxious, but it doesn't actually interfere with anything, so it's totally fine. For once in their lives, they take great care to make sure that these foreground objects don't actually occlude the guy that you want to look at. Which
oh my
is,
god, they do very good. I want to genuinely praise this heavily for the fact that it doesn't occlude the guy. The guy is extremely visible. The guy has mist coming off of him to make sure you can see him.
Yeah, he's really nicely framed. I love this revolver. This is a great looking revolver.
I love this lighting. Just really, again, they've lit his face differently, so you can still see the planes of it, but in a different set of lighting, because they understand how the geometry of this guy works.
Yeah, it's almost like he's a 3D model somewhere. I do love, they're also doing some, fun storytelling, where, okay, let me get into some Rainbow Six Siege shit.
Please.
It's he's dropped. He was healing this guy. That's why the stim pistol is there with some stim rounds on the floor, right? But then he dropped the stim pistol. Whatever just happened here was caught him by surprise, which is why his assault rifle is on the floor. But he was ready to draw his revolver. And there's this clear this thing has been used up. This thing is too big or too close range to use. And this is his only option. He's defending this guy. He was healing this guy because we see the stim rounds and the gun is pointed towards him. And there's also a really nice detail of this wall, this window, whatever is being breached. but he obviously... He wasn't expecting this enough to have his rifle ready, but he was expecting this somewhat because he's placed barbed wire in front of it, which is an item that you can place in front of like a breachable wall or window to slow people down. And so it's telling like a really, really neat, clear story. This, if you take the time to look, this room is super readable. It's a security room. You can see the walls. Yeah. You can see the chair.
You can see the desk chair.
Yeah. And so it's just like, this is...
Motherfuckers in Mount Holly.
This is good image to look at, sort of just like, wow, it's a cool guy doing a pose, but then they've framed in a cool way, then they've genuinely filled it with a lot of very thoughtful details. And I'm like...
Yeah! I'm huge into it. This is a real space that's being represented in this way that's framed by these dramatic effects that go well with the shattering glass. It looks like, I mean, I don't need any more of this image to be visible, but it does look like this could be a larger render, which they just cut off to create this shape, which, fine with me. They've got some shit that's, like, clearly right in the foreground, right at the bottom of the image, that's, like, coming towards you, or right in front of you and very big, but it's not obtrusive. Like, let's go. TBH, let's go, Rainbow Six Siege.
I find the contrast really funny between the first and second image, where in the first image he's about to heal you, and in the second image he's about to shoot you with a revolver.
He's like, "Hello, it's me, a doctor. Watch out!"
Right, but in the Elite 2 image, I'm coming in through the window. Has there been like a major betrayal in our relationship? What's going on here?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I feel like he could defend me from enemies.
Uh-huh.
I believe in him.
We have one more image.
Yes! This fucking thing.
This fucking thing.
Honestly, again, let's fucking go.
Yeah. I think they've maybe slightly overdone it with the gauntness in this one.
I think he's fine. I mean, he's still got a big buff-ass chest. He's got the broad shoulders that come down to a snatched waist.
Yeah. That's just... I feel like his face is a little bit weaker in this one. His mouth is kind of like a Mahjong Soul emote squiggly line, which, like...
You're right. It is not real. They just placed it on top of this render.
Yeah. But, like...
I'm weak for... I know it's, like, goofy, but I really like him holding out the olive branch to all of the doves flying above him. Like, yeah man.
Yeah, because he's a doctor, so he's doing sort of peace-related things.
Well, bullets rain from the skies.
Yeah, in this, like, abstract, numbered pillar room. This fucking room looks like a room from Blueprints. Like... Solve
my riddles,
puzzle.
Boy.
Yeah. In this image, he has a fucking gun blade.
Yes, I know.
Which is also insane.
I love it.
Gun blade. Or
maybe Good for him.
Maybe it's just like a fucked up sci-fi sword, but he's also still got the revolver, and there's just weapons lying all over the floor. Like, it's just an insane image. Also, the doves aren't real. They're stuffed and they're strung up.
Oh my god. I really like the lighting in this image, honestly, so much. It's just the shadow reflection on the floor is fantastic. The way that he's haloed by light is very, very good. Again, they do a great job of putting light on his face and his outfit and everything. All of the shiny bullets are fantastic. Honestly, let me be real. This outfit is very simple. God bless, thank the Lord. And I'm into men in a long coat.
Yeah.
Men in a long coat can get it.
Yeah, he's just in a cool coat.
He's in a cool coat with the big ass collar lapels and then shit strung around this just like this long sleeve shirt that he has on under it that's like clearly stretched thin over his pecs.
Kind of
it's got, you know,
image.
it's got two, I mean, it's not JRPG belts, really. It's just that he has the kind of belts that are on a long coat, hanging down, and, like, it's hot. They did it. It's not hard to make him hot. He's pretty hot, but, like, they did it in a way that, he has a crossbow next to him. What the fuck?
You became
It's a crossbow and crossbow bolts.
Uh-huh.
Hello?
Yeah, he's just like... The fact that bullet... Hello, you were a robot for a minute there, but it's fine.
Oh, okay.
The fact that... It's fine. The fact that bullets are just raining from the ceiling is so funny. Like, what is happening? It's... Oh, man. Fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have much more to say.
There's multiple crossbows. Why are there multiple crossbows?
I don't know. This is just his, like, pillar weapon.
This is my crossbow room.
You don't have one of those? You haven't drafted one of those in Blueprint? You haven't found that secret blueprint
puzzle,
for the crossbow
bitch.
room? Solve my crossbow puzzle, boy.
I like these two little drones that are strung up alongside these doves. There's also just a bunch of drones coming in. Very funny.
Oh yeah, but like also strung up.
Yeah, like he's about to do an Arknights level.
He's about to do... Oh my god, yeah, they're the drones from Arknights.
Yeah, they're coming in lines.
I don't understand what's up with these fucking birds. Because,
yeah, they look like not doves. Because they have
they're not doves. They look like cockatiels.
That's what
but they don't have
thinking.
Faces. The thing is that they don't have faces. They don't have beaks and eyes. Their faces just sort of terminate into a sort of bird shape. But they don't have faces. They're spooky. They're spooky birds.
Fake doves.
Spooky fake birds. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well?
I don't know what's up with that.
I'm happy for him.
Me too, I guess. Watch.
Make sure his classification in Arknights isn't medic, it's guard.
Wait. Guard? Like, he does melee damage?
He does melee damage.
Why isn't it... But he must have some sort of healing...
He must.
He's the kind of guard that, like, stands behind someone and has an extra range. I see.
Instructor guard.
Yeah.
Support guard. I see.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and he does do healing. Yeah, his ability does healing. He heals himself and allies with his abilities. Okay.
Thanks, Gustav.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
It's very funny. It's very funny and weird that these guys are in here. So weird that we drew two crossover characters.
Yeah. Here we are.
In this
beautiful world. Yeah, numbers.
Okay, Sakura Tea Sakura.
Sakura Tea Sakura.
Cute. I mean, she's Sakura. She's
Sakura
cute.
from Cardcaptor Sakura. She's definitionally cute.
I don't think she's 6 cute. She's just got too much, like, sort of... She's got that tomboy energy that, like, is cute, but also makes her not a 6 cute. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to not do this one, like, pretend, just looking at these images and pretending not to know things about Cardcaptor Sakura. So I'm not even going to try.
Yeah. Talking about Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura, completely distinct from the images in the video game that we're talking about.
Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura is, like, she's so cute, but she's also, like... she's also like a jock badass at times.
Mm-hmm. She's a tomboy.
Yeah. She's a jock, and then sometimes, you know, she's also like, winds turn to binding chains!
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's pretty intense.
Sorry. Yes, true.
Uh-huh. And so, 5?
Yeah, in conclusion, 5.
5 cute. Are you still filling out the thing, or do you want me to do it?
I'm filling it out. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you. Appeal.
I mean, she's kind of a loser.
Wow.
I mean, I know it does say in her bio that she's a hard worker who's liked by everyone. She is kind of a loser.
Most people like her.
Most people like her.
Sort of. She's like
except
a little
for people
bit of a
who want to
loner.
fight her, which is also many people.
She's a little bit of a loner, and she is like, you know, she's very sad about her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Famously. And so, like, I wouldn't put her at max appealing, but I wouldn't say she's unappealing.
I think she's a 4.
I'm happy with that.
I think she could be summed up by the number 4. Her appeal.
Yeah.
Kinsey scale number is difficult. Because
you have slightly more Cardcaptor Sakura knowledge than I
do. Here's the thing. In Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card, which is what this is a crossover with, she has she's boyfriends with her gay friend from Cardcaptor Sakura the original. She's boyfriends with her like love rival for the affections of a high school boy. This small gay child. And she's not girlfriends with her gay best friend.
Yes.
Who is constantly looking at her and pining.
Who's explicitly in love with her.
Yes. I want to be clear. This is not shit that we've made up in our minds. If you don't know about Cardcaptor Sakura, you don't know that Sakura's best friend is a lesbian who's in love with her, and her rival is a gay little boy who's in love with the same high school boy as Sakura.
This is just
They
literally
both tried
true.
to give him chocolates on Valentine's Day. I'm not kidding. Anyway, but so Sakura's sexuality is complicated because she's surrounded by homosexuals. And in fact enters a romantic relationship with one of those homosexuals. And I respect that. I don't think that this is insane. It's an listen.
in a bold take, Ash does not believe in, like, straight and queer segregation. Straight people are allowed to be friends with gay people in this crazy world that Ash has concocted in their fucked up little mind.
I just don't think it's a good idea to be a separatist. Anyway, it's making political statements in our podcast. Anyway, fucking, I don't think it's insane that they end up together, even though this little boy is gay.
Sure.
I think that, you know, I think that their relationship is reasonable and is not, as some will accuse it, just sort of a weird way to not actually make Tomoyo and Sakura get together. Tomoyo is pining for a straight girl. It's reasonable. I do think that Sakura is not a 0, but she's not higher than a 3. I have so many feelings about this.
I don't remembering things about Cardcaptor Sakura. I mean, first of all, first of all, I think that she's 13, you know?
Mm-hmm. She is, yes.
And so
she's in junior high.
She's in junior high. And so I just like she's got lots of time to figure it out. But I think the way she's inclinated thus far is like she has one boy that she really, really likes, who's older and very impressive to her. That being said, this one boy is the femmiest little man that has ever existed.
It is. And I forgot to include the important disclaimer that her older brother and the high school boy he's in love with are also gay.
And she also, like, she loves cute, pretty cool women with pretty voices.
She does.
Which is, like, also normal and entirely conventional and not necessarily...
Not necessarily indicative of lesbian
interest. This is from Sai Shonagun's The Pillow Book. But, like... I don't know shit about Clear Card. And honestly, you also don't know that much about Clear Card.
I really don't know that much about Clear Card yet.
But my knowledge of Sakura, I would put her at a 2.
I think this is reasonable.
We took so
I think
long.
I think that she's more than incidentally homosexual.
Yeah. And like
she has more than incidental homosexual encounters.
Yeah, that could change. But
that could change.
I think that's where she's at in my conception of her.
Vina Victoria.
Vina Victoria.
Cuteness.
Cuteness. I haven't looked at her dialogue.
I doubt it's gonna be very cute. But we can glance.
I'm glancing.
Oh, she's so British.
I think she's a little bit cute. She's
a little bit cute. She
still goes to the boxing gym, which is kind of cute.
She's very like she's not super composed and royal. She's still a little bit like
yeah.
She's a little bit of a ruffian.
She's got that street edge still. And I think like walking around holding the orb, holding the royalty orb, and then saying that things are skivvy is like that's a little bit cute.
It's a little bit cute. If you got a noble calling that pisses you off. What number does this correlate to though?
Not a 3, 2 or 1.
A 2, yeah.
2, yeah. Appealing. I have to remember that the lion isn't real. Metaphorical lion.
It's a 3 or above, I think.
Yeah,
on account of her.
I think it has to be
her broad appeal as a night girl, and as the soon-to-be ruler of your nation who commands great forces.
Right, and her broad appeal as she's kind of
as a harlot.
As a broad. Women are innately appealing just for being women. No. And, glancing at her voice line, she's got like a fun little, I mean, she is a royalist, which is like...
You can go to the pub with her, though.
Yeah, she's like, you can go to the pub with her and have a good time and, like, be a little rowdy and get drunk, and, like, that's appealing. She's a royalist, though. I think she clutches her orb while she's having a pint.
I think she's a 3.
I think she's a 3. Yeah.
Due to the fact that she has elements to her that cannot be gotten past in terms of appeal. But she is quite appealing.
I could push that up to a 4, but I'm not against a 3.
I could too.
Okay, then let's say 4.
Let's say 4.
Okay. And then Kinsey.
She seems gay.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she strikes me as quite gay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes gay people are royalists.
Sometimes gay people are royalists. It's hard to be sort of a ruffian who's ascended to a royal status, last of your name, wearing plate armor but only as a skirt, wielding your orb and your sword, and not to have at least many homosexual encounters.
Uh-huh. I think she's a 5.
Women love her. The present ruling class fears her. 5 is correct.
5 is correct.
Doc from Rainbow Six Siege.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
It's not
How
that
cute
funny.
is he?
How cute is he? He's a little bit cute.
He's a little cute. He's putting on his little gloves.
He's putting on his little gloves.
He's putting on his little
He's
gloves.
like, you know, he's not that cute. He's like, of all the like times that I've said he's an adult man, he's like the most an adult man. He's like he's a job in the in the French police force. But like, you know, he's nice. He seems like he has good bedside manners, and that's a little cute.
He's a little cute.
So like,
He's a little bit of a cutie.
Do you have a number feeling?
Probably a 2, TBH.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with 2.
What about his appeal? He is sexy.
Going to check how many 2 appeals we've done this episode.
2 cutes, you mean?
Or 2 cutes, yeah.
2.
What about appeal? He is sexy. He does defend you from the bad guys with a gun.
He does. Oh my god. He would stay by my side, by which I mean directly behind me in order to heal me as a support guard.
You know, he's like he has a sort of weathered look to him. I'm trying to figure out, but I don't actually know which way that pushes him. If you look at the Elite too, he's so gaunt. He's been through a lot. He's a haunted man, and this makes him sort of less appealing. But like at his base, he briefly flipping over his dialogue. He's nice. He takes care of you. He checks in on your mental health.
Yeah.
He's my impression of, again, I haven't watched fucking Rainbow Six Siege in forever. My impression of Doc is that he is sort of like the nice one of the crew, of the like police crew. And so like, you know, he doesn't seem like a big partier or anything, but he's very nice. I don't know. It's got like 4 vibes.
I want that to be a 5, so...
Yeah, okay. 5 is fine.
It's a 5.
It's a 5.
It's a 5.
And then Kinsey.
Now, he does also strike me as a gay man.
Really? The instant I pulled up the page, I was like, before I thought anything else, I was like, this man is a 3. This man is a 3.
I don't disagree, per se. I just think he has a queer well-groomedness to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, this skin is called Exhibition. Second of all, look at Exhibition. I only process this now, that it's just called Exhibition.
Fuck. Well.
Uh-huh. So, like, I'm base at a 3, but if you think that he's, like, more at the gay club, I'm willing to push that up.
No, I think he's a card-carrying bisexual.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to say that people who are a 4 aren't card-carrying bisexuals. But you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
He's a 3. He carries a card that says 3.
Uh-huh. This is gonna be our new Soulmates merch. You can get
a card with your numbers printed on it.
Yeah.
You can wear it on your name tag at cons.
Yeah.
By the way, before you interact with me, I'm a 253. Just letting you know my vibe before you get into it.
You know, if I was walking around at the con and I saw someone who was a proud 253, I'd be like, yeah, I'd talk to this person.
A card-carrying bisexual who's very nice and fun to talk to, but is only incidentally cute.
He's not that cute, but that's fine. I'm thinking about numbers in general, and what's the funniest number to have be a card carrier? I'm a card carrying 006.
Just the worst homosexual you've ever met, but not a measure of quality.
Oh my god, we're losing our minds. Ash, I have a proposition.
Okay.
So normally we do a little like, oh, how do these 3 hang out? But I don't think that will work for this one very well, first of all. And second of all, because of my current proclivities, I have another suggestion.
I see what you mean.
Immediately you figured it out.
I've figured it out.
Which is, I'd like to sort these 3 into, I'll put a link in the description for context, but I'd like to sort these 3 into Misery, CPR, and Reese's Puffs.
Great. I think Sakura is Reese's Puffs.
I absolutely think Sakura is Reese's Puffs.
I'm debating on which one of Vina Victoria and Doc is Misery.
I know!
It's hard, because Doc is a member of the French SWAT and doing shit. I mean, that's not what they do in Rainbow Six Siege, but he's that.
That being said, he is here to serve you customer service.
He is here to serve you customer service.
And, like, Vina Victoria is, like, the last of her line, her dying family.
But she's also kind of ready to fuck around.
Right, yeah.
If we hadn't read her dialogue, I'd be so quick to slot her as Misery.
No, she's absolutely, making porn and watching it on VCR. So, it's tough,
I think
right?
I think she's probably more Misery than CPR, though.
You don't... Yeah. Doc is, like, a doctor who fights terrorists. I know that you think he's very sexy, and I don't even disagree, but he does see people die every day.
True. But is Vina Victoria here to serve you customer service?
But also, I do think Misery is specifically a song about how, like, you've been wronged by someone, and you're in misery because of them. How could you do what you do to me? Why won't you answer me? Answer me. And so that could be about Draco and Aslan, the current rulers of Victoria. So maybe I've convinced myself to agree with you.
Reese's Puffs Misery CPR.
Yeah, so Sakura is Reese's Puffs in the AM. That's the flavor she savors. Vina Victoria is CPR.
No.
Puts her mouth on it like CP. Nope, I'm stupid. She's Misery.
There ain't nobody who can comfort me.
There ain't nobody who can comfort me. And then Doc, He's here to serve you. Tight as a virgin boy. Don't be nervous.
Don't get nervous.
He's here to serve you.
He's here to serve you customer service.
Customer service. That worked quite well, actually.
Yeah.
We don't do that every time,
We
but
could
I
do
will
that
say
every...
it worked quite well.
We could do that on occasion. So long as your proclivities last.
Okay, we have to end this episode. I'm going to die. Okay, roll the guys. Roll them.
Roll the guys. Random.
Oh my God.
.org.
The fucked up thing is that we were like, the thing that hypothetically we were scared of in this season is like, oh, what if the guys have a ton of images and we just get bogged down in rolling a bunch of guys with a ton of images? That didn't happen this time. This was like below average number of images. We just had so much shit to say. I think because we're both in a good mood after a long time of not being in a very good mood. Anyway, it's fine. We can have long episodes of the show.
I love my beautiful spreadsheet, by the way. Nobody
It's such a beautiful
knows about my
spreadsheet.
beautiful spreadsheet except for me and Ivy, but it's a perfect spreadsheet that automatically populates exactly what I need.
I wish it didn't have spoilers so we could share it with people. It's such a nice spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But also, I'm the one who decided it should have spoilers, so, like...
You know.
Sorry.
C'est la vie.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Lovey.
here we go. Guy.
Who the fuck is this?
Well, we're gonna find out, aren't we?
I like how you're just Googling them instead of going to the wiki.
Don't worry about it. Ooh.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey. Wow.
Hey, what up?
Yeah.
What up?
Fond of this guy.
Yeah. Wikipedia link.
Sick. Wow.
Okay, and now.
This is Ash going over the thing
But-
and copying the new data from the spreadsheet, and then failing to paste it in. And
I
then,
pasted it in. It just has a bunch of blank space at the bottom.
Then getting rid of all the blank space. Getting rid of more of the getting rid of more of the blank space.
Please.
Play by play.
We have to end the episode. Carefully.
Oh my
carefully.
fucking god.
Perfect.
Okay.
No problems ever.
No
Perfect.
problems ever.
Perfect.
You should get rid of name.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Bam!
Randomize.
Yeah!
I know I've seen this guy, but I don't remember what they look like.
This is such a bad thing to Google. I'm also only using one hand to type.
Fop de fantasy. Oh,
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What an exciting start to the episode. These two.
Woo!
Woo!
Fun. Very fun.
I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
雷撃も罰の一種に過ぎません。彼らは自分の行いの代償を支払っているのですから、それでよかったと思いませんか？